What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Run Your Race with my boy, AJ Richardson. And listen, we got a very special guest here. We got an NBA champion. We got a UNC great. We got my guy, Brendan Haywood. And as y'all guys know, we were sponsored by DraftKings. So y'all go over to DraftKings today, download the app, and use promo code RACE. All right, DraftKings, the crown is yours. Now let's get to the episode. What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Run Your Race with my boy, AJ Richardson.
Good morning, beautiful people.
We on the Charlotte edition. Y'all know what it is. Listen, we got my Greensboro brethren. We got a North Carolina Tar Heel great. Y'all know how I feel about my Tar Heel brothers. Y'all know how I feel about my Tar Heel brothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How we do things over here. Listen, I am honored. We got another NBA champion over here. I told you, we getting bigger and better here on Run Your Race.
Thanks.
We do our thing over here. People, we got Brendan Haywood. I had to make sure I got that right.
Yeah, it's Brendan, not Brandon. It's Brendan, not Brandon. It's Brendan.
Brendan Haywood for all Carolina fans. Stop calling him Brandon. Brendan Haywood. Welcome, brother.
Man, what's up, man? Glad to be here, man. Y'all boys do good work, man. For
Appreciate you.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Brendan, we appreciate you coming on here, NBA champion. But we need to hear your story. We need to hear how you got to where you are today. And we like to, and I say this every single time, but I think it really has been big for me and AJ the past 2 years because this pod has been something we can't imagine where it's gotten to.
Right.
It's been something that we have appreciated and we love doing now because we don't hear the same thing twice. We don't, because everybody has a different race to getting to where they are today. And it's been great to hear everybody's story. And it helps people out there understand, like, listen, you can get to where you want to get to because we have every single situation you can think of come on this pod and they can help you get to where you want to get to. So let's get right into it. Brendan, you from Greensboro. Everybody know that.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Where you from and how'd you get to how'd you start playing basketball?
Well, I'm obviously from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yep.
Started playing basketball just around the neighborhood locally. Then started playing at Dudley High School.
Yep.
Under Coach David Price, great man, helped me get to where I was today. And like you said, you've heard a lot of different stories, a lot of different ways to get here. Mine's probably, for a high school player, probably a little bit more unique.
Yep.
Because, most guys, they were the best player on their teams.
Yep.
Well, I was not.
If he starts with that, it sounds like
I
he
was not.
Yeah.
So for me, you got JV varsity.
Yep.
All right. First of all, I got cut from the 8th grade team.
Damn.
Yeah. Cut from the 8th grade team. Had to go play at the Y. So coming in 9th grade, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to set the bar high.
I'm
not going for varsity. I thought about it. I said, you know what? Since I got cut from the 8th grade team, I'm not going out for JV. I'm going out for 9th grade.
Really?
The 9th grade team.
Yeah.
Yes. Got cut from that.
Damn.
Yeah. Got cut from the 9th grade team. Taft Turner, I'll never forget that you cut me.
Yeah.
And so
know you by name.
Right.
So I was honestly about to quit basketball.
Really?
Yeah, I got cut in 8th grade. I got cut from the 9th grade team.
Yeah.
I thought, man, this ain't for me.
Yeah. How tall are you at this time?
At this point, I'm 9th grade. I'm like 6'4".
Damn.
And you got cut?
I'm uncoordinated. I'm 6'4", and I'm walking to the bus to go home. 9th grade, JV, varsity, they got practice. And I see David Price, the varsity basketball coach, and he's like, yo, where you going? So I'm going home. I got cut. What you mean where I'm going, man? He was like, they cut you? He said, nah, man. He's like, you on the team, man. Just go to the gym. I said, all right, coach. Like, man, he's tripping, man. I'm tired of getting cut.
Yeah.
I still went to the bus.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, my bus is about to pull out. I see Coach Price come running up to the bus. He stops the bus. He walks on the bus. He said, man, didn't I tell you on the team? Like, get your stuff and get off the bus. And so he actually put me on the JV team. And I heard him talking, and he said, hey, man, I don't know what y'all doing, but you don't never cut nobody with that type of size. He said, we have no idea what he can be.
Respectfully.
Exactly.
There you
And
go.
that's
Shout out to Coach Price.
Shout out to Coach Price. And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, it don't matter how good they are. If somebody over 6 foot,
It's ninth grade.
it's
You're
ninth
telling me you
grade.
couldn't kept me over like
What
the
they
third
always
string
say-
point guard on the ninth grade
You
team?
Come on,
can't
bruh.
teach height.
Yeah.
You
Come on,
can't
bruh.
teach
You can't
height.
teach that. You got to give them a chance.
You got to.
Yeah. And so that was one of those things. So that's how I kind of broke it. I was going to quit.
Mhm.
Coach Price probably changed the direction of my whole life.
That's
Mm.
insane.
And then it even gets more insane.
Mhm.
You thought it got that. It even gets more insane because once again, I'm starting to try to
Yeah.
figure out
Did
basketball.
you play any other sport?
I played JV football, but that
Okay.
was just because the JV coach was the basketball. JV football coach was the basketball coach. It wasn't because I thought I was nice.
Got you,
All right?
got you, got you, got you.
Okay.
And so I played JV my freshman year.
Mhm.
Played JV, didn't start. Played JV my sophomore year as well. And then coming into my junior year, it's time for me to go to varsity.
Yep.
Now, we had a 6'9" guy on our team.
No damn. How
Si-
tall are you?
I'm at this point, I'm about 6, my junior year, because I grew from 6'4" to 6'11".
You at Delhi, right?
I'm at Dudley. So now I'm
Yep.
6'11". But now, mind you now, we had a 6'9" guy. He was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Name was Jermaine Peebles.
Okay.
Kind of played like Charlie Villanueva.
Okay.
Mm.
Now
Good fucking player.
he had
Yeah,
been,
he a player.
mind you, when I'd be going to play AAU and everything, we were always on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
He had been starting over me all my life.
Yeah.
We the same age, starting over me all my life. I wasn't expecting to start my junior year.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, Jermaine is here. I'm gonna come off the bench like I normally do.
Yep.
He ends up getting in trouble. I think something with a car theft.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So he steals a car, a teacher's car.
Oh damn.
Yes. And gets thrown off the team.
Oh damn.
And that is the only way that I start that year.
That's crazy.
So that year we had another guy on the team, Vincent Witt. He was like the parade All-American and everything. So people would come to see him, see who he was.
Yeah.
Carolina was recruiting him as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I get on Carolina's radar because they're coming to see Vincent Witt. And now I'm starting to play a little bit and they start to see me as well.
Yep.
And so it's like, all right, they came to see him, but like, hey man, who the big kid in the corner got
Yeah,
good
yeah.
grades? I had good grades.
Yeah.
My coordination hadn't caught up yet. Who's the big kid that got good grades? And so it's
Gotta
one
have those guys.
gotta
Yes.
have
Gotta
my
have
mom
that.
made sure I went to school.
Yeah.
And so that's basically I had to have so many different things. My coach had to force me to play. Then I wasn't even going to be a starter my junior year. I end up being a starter because the guy that was been better than me my whole life gets kicked off the team.
Yep.
We win a state championship.
Your junior year.
My junior, we win the state championship. I end up getting an invite to Nike camp. I'm playing against some of the best players at that time. The guys like Chris Burgess, Eric Chenoweth, holding my own. So I go from basically being an unknown coming into my junior year to being a top 25, top 30 player by the time I go into my senior year. And I'm a McDonald's All-American my senior year.
Damn.
So like I went from totally off the map. Like when y'all say off the grid, I was nowhere near the grid. And then by the time I was ready, by the time my senior year came, I was a McDonald's All-American.
So you said you had no coordination, right? Coordination.
No, not when I was in like ninth grade. I was
So-
nasty.
How was it Coach Price that got your footwork together, got like all this together? Because as a big man, like the footwork and all that stuff, that's important. That
Bigs
shit's
developed
hard.
later. So Coach Price continuously made me play.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He
True.
like it was like, yo,
True.
every tournament,
Mhm.
hey, you in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AAU tournament, you know, they had those summer basketball tournaments for the high school team.
Yep.
I was on all those.
Yeah.
AAU teams, no. You don't need to go play with that AAU team over there. You need to go play with this one right here because you're going to play all game.
Yeah.
There you go.
We even had a PE class. In our PE class, it was basically me, two of my good friends, they're still my good friends today, Jermaine Price, who was Coach Price's son,
Yep.
and my boy Charles Goodman.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to play 3-on-3 against Dexter Dawkins, Vincent Witt, and Dennis Jones. Those were the three starters. This is my sophomore year. So those are the three starters on varsity. And
Yep.
Vincent Witt was the man. He
Mhm.
was the guy. Everybody came, like, that was the guy. And every single day I played basketball against those guys. And Dexter Dawkins was like that. He used to
Yeah.
hook me up to a Ford 150 and drag me around the gym every PE class. But it was one of those things like I started getting better and better.
Yeah.
And I started getting more and more confidence.
Yep.
And from playing in AAU tournaments, playing all game, playing JV, playing against Dexter Dawkins, playing against all the, eventually you just slowly but surely as a big man, you start to get better. And it's like, whereas before I'm 6'8" and I couldn't even dunk. The next thing you know, I'm like, oh, I'm catching it off the rim. Then your confidence starts to rise. Then you start, oh, okay. And you start feeling yourself a little bit. And then the big thing was for me, when I went to Nike camp, I was scared. I was scared because I wasn't the kid that was just like, and when I stepped out there and I'm like, yo, like, this Chris Burgess guy, he's number one. Like, but I'm right here with him.
Yeah.
Like Eric Chenoweth, I've heard about him. You know, the Collins twins. You're like, oh, I heard about that. Yo, I'm holding my own.
Yeah.
And so that's when the light clicked for me that, you know, I could do this.
And that's where we talk about literally on every pod, because there's always a moment. Right. There's always a time where you figure it out, like, oh, y'all done fucked up now. Y'all done fucked up
we
now.
can curse on this show?
Oh, yeah. You done fucked up now. I could figure out I could do this at a high level. And I think it's crazy because that's a unique story. Right. There's so many things that you don't understand that falls in place for you to get to where you are today.
If bro don't steal that car, I don't go to Carolina because I wouldn't have been a starter. If he doesn't steal that car, my life goes a totally different direction. If Coach Price doesn't get me off that bus, man, I might be working at like Target right now. So I wouldn't be playing basketball because I was going to quit.
Yeah, you were done.
I was done. You get cut from 8th grade, 9th grade, basketball ain't for you.
Yeah,
you
it's like,
and it comes down to what I talk about all the time, the belief, the trust in you. Like, you need that one person to believe in you. And then you're like, okay, he got my back. I'm going to do everything I can to prove him right. And that whatever he see in me, I'm going to try to give everything I got to this game.
Not facts.
And it's crazy because I'm sitting here like, everything perfectly lined up for you.
Lined up. Sometimes it ain't you. Sometimes you got to have favor on your life now.
That's
I ain't coming here to preach, but
I
did grow up in the church. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
But yeah,
that's
like,
a fact.
Listen, it wasn't, like I said, my ascension was not the normal path. Like I said, like a lot of guys, they come in, they've been nice since they were in 9th grade, and then they just, go on to where they're going to go to school and then they go to the league. My story was just totally different.
Do you think it helped that you had nobody, like you was like, it had to be you? There was nobody else. Did that help you a little bit? Or do you think you was like, at that point, you put the work in and you were ready?
I think it's just putting the work in. Slowly. I like the fact that I had to grind and put the work in at every single level because you start to slowly but surely gain confidence, and I took nothing for granted. Yeah. So like a tournament where somebody else that might be that's been a 5-star since they was in 9th grade might be like, I don't feel like playing this little rinky-dink tournament that Coach Price got me playing in. I'm like, I get a chance to play. I need these reps. I want to play. You know what I'm saying? So like, it just kind of, I was always hungry to get better. Yeah.
Because you just wanted to make that next step, which is big time. How the fuck did y'all win the state championship?
What do you mean how we win? We were nice. I told you we had Vincent Witt. This guy was like a 6'6" 2 guard. He was,
2 guard?
6'6" 2 guard, yeah.
That's crazy.
Who else was nice back then? Who y'all play in the state championship?
So like, remember, Courtney Alexander?
Yes.
Vincent went with head-to-head and was giving Courtney Alexander that work. Now, Courtney gave it back to him. No disrespect. But like, Courtney played in Durham. Like, they went head-to-head. We won that game. Vincent gave Courtney like 30+. Like, Vincent Witt was a top 30 recruit. Yeah. He was like that. I told you, they only came to see me because of him.
Yes.
So we had Vincent Witt. We had a guy named Braxton Williams. Our team was super tall, too.
Yeah.
Because Witt's 6'6". Braxton was like 6'3".
And you're how tall at junior year, senior year?
I'm 6'11".
Yeah.
Damn.
Our power forward, we had 2, Derek Partee, he was probably like 6'5". Had another dude, Marcus Watson. Another guy, crazy athlete, Marcus Watson, he was like 6'6". Mind you now, the 6'9" guy got thrown off the team. So we were basically we basically had like a college team in high school at that point. And we were a public school.
If the 6'9" guy was on the team, y'all might not lose a game.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't be here telling you this story.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, that is
that
very
might be
true.
a fact.
Yeah.
That might be also, you 6'11" though.
Yeah.
You also 6'11". Like,
and you got Coach Price got your back.
Exactly. You also came into your own. You're known as a defensive guy. timing, blocking shots. That's a talent. Not everybody can do
100%.
that shit. How did you work on that at such a young age to be so dominant at that?
It was easy. I wasn't good, so I didn't get the ball. When you're not getting the ball, you got to figure out a way to get out there on the court.
No facts.
So it was like, all right, how am I going to impact the game? And
Yeah.
then I started blocking shots, and I started seeing how that affected things. And Coach, like I said, Coach Price put the battery in my back. You know, Coach Price got that big boy. That's how he talked. Big boy. No, nobody get no shots over you. I'm like, all right, Coach.
Yeah.
Hey,
Say
hey,
less.
say
Yeah.
less. So it's like I just started patrolling the paint and taking pride in that and guarding my yard.
Mhm.
And then, like I said, I really got into basketball, so I started watching people and things that they did, when they crossed the lane, how they defended certain areas, timing, guys like that. I used to love watching guys like Patrick Ewing way back in the day. That was like my favorite guy growing up.
Gotcha.
So that's why I wore 33 in the NBA. So guys like that, I just started watching and just taking pride in defense and doing what I was good at. I wasn't naturally good at scoring the basketball.
Yeah.
So this is what's gonna get me my
For sure.
this is gonna get me my ticket.
For sure.
That
And
makes
listen,
so
that's
much
being
sense.
self-observant of
Yeah.
your own game and on a way that you can impact the game, because that's lost.
Right.
Guys need to understand it's about everybody can't be the scorer.
Yeah.
Everybody can't do that. How can
Gotta roll.
you impact the game
You gotta
for your
roll.
team to win?
Oh, for
Because
sure.
if you win, guess what? You won.
Listen,
You won a state championship your junior year.
in the
Why
league-
did they do that? You were on the team. What do you do well? I defend the paint.
Yep.
Every team needs that. And I think that's just a testament to the guy you are and the type of player you are, and it helped you out tremendously along your career.
What was those conversations like with Coach Price though, like through your journey? Because I feel like, one, you wasn't really into basketball at the 8th grade, 9th grade, like until you got to like starting and stuff like that. So I feel like as a coach, when you have a player like that, that's 6'11", know they have the potential, but you don't know you got the potential yet.
Right.
So those conversations with Coach Price to like make you understand and change your mindset, what was those like?
the conversation with Coach Price, it was always like father-son.
Yeah.
Grew up in a single-parent household. He was basically the only positive male role model I had in my life.
Yeah.
So it was basketball, it was life, it was schoolwork, it was everything. But basketball-wise, he just wanted me to go out there, play hard, and it was always just about keep playing, get as many reps as possible. And then he would show me the little things like the mic and drills and things, the footwork and the jump hooks. But the biggest thing was, man, keep playing, keep doing the work, and keep watching basketball. And then from there, just being around him and then just seeing how genuine he was as a person, how great he was as a family man and everything else. And, you know,
Just fell in line.
everything just fell in line.
You hear something he said? Watch
Watch
basketball.
That's what I said. I was like,
come
yep.
on now. If you ain't watching, you ain't really trying.
This
Bro,
new generation right here.
They don't watch
watch basketball no more.
You know what's crazy though? I've played with several guys that didn't really watch basketball.
Oh, me too.
Oh, I believe it.
It's
I
insane.
believe it.
Several guys.
It's insane.
Several guys.
Hey, listen, we've been in listen.
True,
The league
true story.
opens your eyes to a lot of
Hey,
shit.
true
Go
story.
ahead.
We're in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna say this guy's name because he'll get out there, he'll go crazy on the internet. But we're in Philadelphia.
Yep.
And there's a guy on my team, and it's, you know, he's a physical talent, but he didn't catch the ball that well.
Yep.
And this for guys that don't watch, you could tell certain guys don't watch basketball. We're in Philly. He walks out to go to the bus, comes back, he had forgot something. And he was like, yo, man, like, the Philly team doctor was talking about he wanted to work with me about on my hands and how to catch and this, that, and the third. I said, what? And so it's me and like Popeye Jones at the time. It's my rookie year. So I'm like, why is the Philly team doctor talking to one of our rookies?
Mm-hmm.
Man, me and Popeye walk out there, we look to the right. The doctor he's talking about is Dr. J. On my mama.
No way.
On my mama. He had no clue. No clue who Dr. J was. Julius Irving? Julius who? Had no clue. So some guys at the highest level do not watch basketball. Had no clue who Dr. J was.
I would have been like, all right, you know what?
Because he told him, hey, I'm Dr. J. So he thought that was, you the Philly team doctor. That's what he thought he was talking to.
Hey, man.
What's your reaction?
Like, dog, we're looking at him. When me and Popeye Jones look at each other and realize that it's Dr. Damn J, we like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, we knew you didn't watch basketball, but now we really know. Now we really know that you didn't grow up watching basketball at all.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's crazy.
That's a fucking tough one.
Yeah.
I want you to, because this is another perspective. We've heard it a couple times, but I want to give your insight on it. You weren't getting recruited early.
Mm-mm.
You didn't have any of that shit. How did you handle getting all the recognition later on in your years starting to go to college? Because some people can handle it the wrong way and some people can handle it the right way. How did you handle it and what did you go through?
Man, I think I handled it pretty well, but I think a lot of it had to do with who my mom was.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't letting no BS come in there.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Yeah, Mom Dukes, Barbara Haywood. You know,
Yeah.
she was going to hold it down.
Big Barb.
Wasn't going to let me get the big
Hey,
head.
listen, all barbers are not. Hey, my mama named Barbara.
Oh,
hey, listen.
man.
Hey, come on.
Barbers now, they different now. They
Hey,
different.
Barbara's different,
And
boy.
so I never really got the super, super big head. And then the thing was, because I went from being not recruited to being recruited by everybody, I was more appreciative.
Yeah.
I was more like,
that
oh,
makes
man.
sense. That makes sense.
You telling me Dean Smith's going to come down here to watch me?
Yeah.
Roy Williams is on the phone calling me?
Yeah.
Like, I was actually a huge Kansas fan.
Really?
I always joke about it with Roy. Roy knows I'm not. I would have went to Kansas.
First of all, how
That's far.
Yeah,
How
that's
did
crazy.
that happen?
How did that happen?
Yeah, how did
How
that
are you a
happen?
Kansas fan?
Yeah.
I had to do a bracket sheet. My mom
Yep.
told me to fill it out one time.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't know, at that point, I didn't know much about basketball. So I'm filling it out and I just picked Kansas was like a number 1 seed. I picked them to win. So I started watching them in the tournament that year.
Mm-hmm.
And they just became the team I started watching from there on out. Like guys like, this back when they had like, you know, like the Jock Vaughns and Greg
Yeah,
Ostertags
Yep.
man, go back, Richard Scott,
Yep.
Adonis Jordan,
Mhm.
like way back Kansas team.
Yeah.
What's our buddy's name? The coach at Carolina. He played Jared Haas.
Jared
Haas.
Jared
Yeah,
Haas, yep.
like all those
Yep.
teams, man. Like so I started following Kansas. Kansas was my number 1 school,
Really?
but Roy was recruiting a guy by the name of Eric Chenoweth, who was a very good player at that time.
Yep.
And so he was ranked slightly higher than me, and he committed to Kansas. And Roy was like, well, you know, Eric's going to come to Kansas, but we still want you. And I was like, thanks, Roy. But in my mind, I'm like, absolutely not.
I'm going to
Absolutely
happening,
not.
buddy.
Ain't no way I'm coming here, man. I ain't coming here to share no minutes with that guy.
Yeah.
You must be crazy as hell. I was like, who Carolina got? I was like, look a little thin.
Look a little thin
They
over
had
there.
like Mactar Inja, and I'm like, after that, I'm like, yeah, it's your boy. Yeah, I got a chance to get minutes.
Yeah.
Hey,
For sure.
immediately.
For sure. And Greensboro guy,
Yeah, exactly.
North Carolina,
Mhm.
the perfect place to go. What was AAU like for you?
AAU was just, it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
I love playing AAU.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it was different because it's not like it is now.
Mhm.
So when you would hear about these guys, but you know, we were reading about guys in magazines.
Yeah.
There wasn't videos.
Yeah.
There wasn't these YouTube. So it's like,
Yep.
so when I would go play AAU tournament and we play like the Atlanta Celtics, I'm like, oh, that's Deion Glover.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's Jermaine Jones. So
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me, I loved AAU because you go to these different tournaments and you taking on these guys that you read about and then you get to see what they really about.
Mhm.
Deion Glover and Jermaine Jones, they was beasts back in the day. Atlanta Celtics, whole team was dark skinned,
Yes.
pressing all game long. I was like, man,
Atlanta
just
Celtics
12
is
dark skinned
different.
guys, huh? But we gonna be in for a long one.
For real.
So it was like, it
Straight
was,
athleticism.
yeah, all
Literally.
athletes
All
press
athletes.
full court.
Yeah.
So like for me, it was just great just seeing like the different, you go to different tournaments and you see different guys, and it was always, I always felt like they were measuring sticks.
Yeah,
Because I was
for
trying
sure.
to figure out who I was at the time. So it was like, oh, like I said, oh, that's so-and-so. Oh, I want to play against him.
So at that time, you started looking into like who's number 1, who's number 2,
Yes.
like who I need to like beat out the best center and all this other stuff.
All that. We would know the rankings. We would know who's who, where you were moving up at. And
Mhm.
we had a really good AAU. Actually, we had a really good AAU team because after I stopped playing locally, I got good enough to where I got picked up by one of the bigger teams, a team by the name of Carolina Warriors. And like everybody on our team went like ACC or to a big time school. So
Mhm.
man, we were always watching. We had Julius Peppers on that team.
What the?
Julius
Yeah.
Peppers.
Wildest
That's
part
crazy.
was it's magazines. We had no idea who Julius Peppers was.
Really?
Well, he's from like a small part of North Carolina. Like he's from Julius went to like a 2A school.
What?
I
So
ain't
the
know
only
that.
reason we even picked him up was because we beat the brakes off his team, but he was like dunking on everybody. We're like, yo, hey man, the 6'6" guy, that 6'6" guy right there with all
He's
the
good.
muscles and the big ears. We need to pick him up, coach.
He's good.
Yeah. We had no idea. Like we literally were like, I talked about everybody knew where they were ranked.
Mm-hmm.
And so we like, yo, Pep, where are you ranked? And he was like, I don't know. I don't really keep up with it. And we were like, he's like, I'm actually better in football than basketball. We're like, for real? We're like, all right, well, you know, we kids. We're like, all right, we're going to get our magazine. We're going to get the football magazine too. Go get the football magazine.
Yeah.
He says he's a running back.
Running back?
That's what he told us he played. We don't, mind you now, we don't know that we're rocking with one of the best football players in the nation.
In the country.
We have no idea.
Yeah.
And so we get the magazine, we look in there. He's not ranked in the for running backs. We're like, did you mean you're like one of the best running backs in the state or the nation? He said, the nation. He looks at the magazine, hands it back to us. At the bottom, at the top, it was like gold, like had like a gold star. He had his own position. It said utility back. Number 1 player in the nation, able to play any and every position on the field.
Oh, makes sense.
We said, yo, dog, I thought you said you was a running back. He said, oh, my bad. Because Pep is super humble, super quiet, super humble.
Yep.
He was like, oh, my bad, dog. I also play tight end, fullback, defensive end, linebacker. So you every back.
Right.
You every back but quarterback.
Whenever they need you.
He played everything. Running back, fullback, tight end, defensive end. Yeah, he did all that. He did everything. And so he was like, he had his own special category.
Y'all were on the same team?
Yeah, that's how we figured out that we were rolling with the one of the best players in the nation as far as football. We had no idea that he was even that good.
Damn.
Utility back.
Then
it's crazy.
Insane.
Then he threw in, oh yeah, I'm also one of the state's top triple jumpers. I'm like, oh, okay. Since you swagging.
Yeah.
Since you
That's
swagging.
crazy.
Triple jump is
Shout out
insane.
Hall of Famer Julius Peppers too, man. Just went to the Hall of Fame this year, man.
Shout out Julius Peppers, man. Need you on the pod.
Yeah, thanks.
Let me ask you this. First offer was who?
First offer? Man, I'm not sure if it was the first one, but the first one I really, really got excited about was UNC Charlotte.
Mm.
Mind you now, I'm coming in
No,
low.
no, no,
I'm coming in low.
Yeah.
Listen.
Like UNC Charlotte,
Listen.
I was like, man, I got a chance to go to UNC Charlotte. I was actually really excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, really excited about that.
8th grade, I got an offer from Johnson C. Smith
Oh man.
in the tailgate.
Yep. HBCU. You know
But
what
you
I
were
mean?
nice for a long time though.
Yeah, coach came to me. He was like, I know about you. I just want to give you an offer right now. Why was he at an anti-tailgate? I have no idea.
Hey man.
But he's just like,
Probably
hey,
knew
look.
you was there.
Yeah. He's like, hey, look, I want to give you an offer to Johnson C. Smith. I was like, I was lit. I was like, I just got my first offer, Pops. And he was like, well, see what happens. I'm like, nah, I ain't going there. But it is what it is. Well, McDonald's All-American. You never thought you was going to be that.
Did not.
You go from about to get on the bus, about to go home. Coach Price said, get your ass off the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're a McDonald's All-American. Talk about that moment.
Man, it was great to be McDonald's All-American because
Yep.
of the history.
Mhm.
And I wanted to prove myself at Nike camp, and I wanted to be McDonald's All-American. Those are two goals that I had because I was watching certain program. They were talking about some of the guys that had been through that.
Yep.
And so I was like, man, I really hope that I get a chance to get to that level.
Yeah.
And I knew that like the Shaquille O'Neals and all these guys have been McDonald's All-Americans. I understood what that meant. So I was very proud to be McDonald's, especially coming from where I came from.
For sure.
Coming from not being on the map as a freshman to being cut twice to being a McDonald's All-American, man, I was super proud of that moment. And so, man, I didn't take it for granted, man. Like, no, I wasn't, sometimes guys can be complaining about little things. We're going to the Ronald McDonald's house to talk to the kids.
Yeah,
I'm there.
Let's do it.
I'm
Thanks.
there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm meeting the guys and, some of these guys turn out to be really, incredible basketball players. Like the guys like Ron Artest, Larry Hughes. I'm still cool with Larry Hughes to this day. Obviously, we played together with the Wizards.
Yep.
But it's just one of those things, man. Just getting out there and just experiencing the moment with the guys.
Who was your class? Who's in your class?
Tracy McGrady.
Jeez.
Damn.
He was supposed to, but he didn't play. It was something about, I'm not sure, something happened, but he didn't play in the game, but he was
Yeah.
supposed to be on the team.
Yeah.
Tracy, Lamar Odom, Ron Artest, Elton Brand,
Damn.
Deion Glover,
Who's the number one player in your class?
Tracy McGrady.
Oh,
that
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Yeah.
the crazy thing was
Yeah.
he came out of nowhere too. Like no one,
Really?
Huh?
Tracy McGrady wasn't like all, like Tracy McGrady, if you go look up Tracy McGrady's story, Tracy McGrady, all of us, like he was barely even invited to Adidas camp. Popped onto the map and boom. Yes.
Took over that shit.
Go look it up. I promise you. He came out of nowhere, became like the best, because something happened. I don't know his story. He doesn't tell you, but yeah, Tracy McGrady was the best, was probably the best player. Lamar Odom, oh my goodness, 6'10", super smooth. It was crazy. Baron Davis was on that team.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. Like I said,
guys.
Ron Artest was different though. Like he threatened everybody in the middle of the game. It was crazy. Yeah.
So he was still the same person.
Well, I don't think Ron realized it was an all-star game.
We just out here trying to have fun.
Oh, my mama. Like Ron was out here trying to play real defense.
Yeah.
He was really, and guys weren't passing him the ball, and he wasn't used to that. So he came to the huddle. He's like, yo, I swear to God, if I don't get the ball next play, I'm snuffing all y'all MFs out. I was like, oh my God. The coach is looking at us. I'm looking at them like, man, y'all better do something with this.
Y'all better give him the ball.
He sounds serious.
I think he's dead serious right now. Let's give him the ball.
So they swung the ball to me at the top of the key. Man, I damn near handed it to him. Here you go.
Here you go, buddy.
And that's that's when I knew Ron Artest was real. He walked in the middle of that huddle, team full of McDonald's All-Americans, and threatened the life out of everybody. And then nobody say a word. We made sure he got some shots, though. We had to ensure our safety.
For real, that's funny.
Hilarious.
The NBA Cup is here, and you know who we locked in with. The official sponsor of Run Your Race, DraftKings. And you already know what to do. Go to DraftKings right now, download the app, use promo code RACE, and new customers who bet as little as $5 get $150 in bonus bets if you win. And DraftKings has everybody. If sports betting is not legal in your state, DraftKings also has daily fantasy. As you know, I'm going to be locked in on the NBA Cup all week. But as you know, DraftKings is an official partner of NFL, and they are the #1 place to bet on touchdowns. And don't forget about DraftKings Same Game Parlay for a chance at a bigger payout. So y'all know what to do. Go to DraftKings right now, download the app, use promo code RACE. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
I want to talk about what went into your perspective on what school you chose.
I wanted a school where, first of all, I could play. I wanted to have a chance to play right away.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a school that had a track record for developing bigs, give myself a shot at the NBA. And then I wanted to go somewhere. At that point, I thought I wanted to be like a business major, and so that was important to me.
Yeah.
When I got in school, I realized I didn't want to do that. the math wasn't math. It was too much. It was too much. It was too much. I wasn't going to be eligible. But those things were important to me. And then, so go through the process. And I want to say my last 5 schools: Kansas, Carolina, Wake Forest, Clemson, and Miami. And I ended up picking Carolina.
Took a visit to all of them?
Took a visit to all of them. Miami almost had me, though.
I ain't
gonna lie. They almost had me. Hey, Leonard Hamilton was the coach. Man, listen, they showed me a great time. I'll tell you that. And then I was like a Miami Hurricanes football fan growing up. So, man, you know how they used to come out with the smoke? Man, they had me on the field. They came out with it. Man, I wanted to run out behind the team. Man, they had me hyped, man. Took me out that night. I'm a young kid from Greensboro. They took me out in the Miami streets. Man.
It's different.
Look at my eyes.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it was a little different.
Different world.
It was a little different. But at the end of the day, I just felt that time Coach Smith was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that he just had such a strong track record for developing big men and getting guys to the NBA and the family atmosphere. And Kansas was #1 at one point, but then they fell off when they recruited Eric Chenoweth.
Yep.
Then I was looking at Clemson because the guy on my team, Vincent Witt, he went to Clemson.
Really?
And so I was like, man, I'll follow him there. I took him out visit. There was nothing in Clemson.
Yeah,
I came home and told my mom, I said, listen, I barely made it a week and I can't make it 4 years.
Yes.
So as soon as I took my visit, I took them off the list. I said, Coach Barnes, I love you, but this school is not for me.
Yeah.
And so it came down to basically Miami and Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I was considering Miami because Ron Artest was actually supposed to go there. There's a kid by the name of Teffin Hamilton. He was a really good player back then.
Yep.
And I was like, man, if they get those guys, I said, Mom, I think I might go there. And then my mom was like, well, she said, how many big guys has Miami sent to the NBA?
Good question, moms.
I looked.
That's a great question.
I
Great
know.
question,
Miss
moms.
Barb.
Yeah,
Miss Barb, that's a
She
great
got
question.
Barbara
bars.
Haywood, now she-
Miss Barb's got bars.
She was like, I looked. I was like, ooh. She said, how many has Carolina sent to the NBA? I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, Brad Daugherty,
Yeah.
Rasheed Wallace,
Yeah.
Sam Perkins. Man, they even got service work, got a little cup of coffee in the league. I said, man, Evan Salvadori, they like, what? I said, oh. She said, okay, make the decision for yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, she didn't drop the mic on you
Yeah,
like
she
that.
dropped
She
that
didn't
thing.
drop the mic.
Like, yo, like, listen, you could go to Miami, and I know your visit was great.
I'm gonna support you and
I'm
all
gonna
this.
support you. I'm gonna come down here. But listen, man, we trying to get to the league, and these guys are putting people that are built like you in the league.
Yeah.
She dropped the mic on you.
Man, look, I think there's a guy that he didn't play long in NBA. I think his name was Kevin Salvadori.
Yep.
And he didn't play even that much at Carolina. Even he got a cup of coffee in the league. I was like, oh no, I'm going.
Had to go.
They putting bigs in the league. I got to go. I
Had
got
to
to
go.
have it.
Yep.
That was my goal. So then I ended up just choosing Carolina like that.
And make a whole lot of sense.
Do you think like this generation look at stuff like that?
Oh, they definitely look at it.
Not now. They getting NIL.
They getting I don't think they look
Man,
at
like
stuff like
it'd
that.
been different if somebody was offering me
Yeah.
offer me 500,000.
That's true.
Do you
That's
understand
true.
what he just said?
No, I get that. I
They
get
get
that.
NIL, man.
I get that.
Could you imagine, like, all right, would you have gone to Carolina if they was offering 300 and somebody else was offering you 450?
Tough.
Exactly.
It's tough. Hey, listen, I get it. I get it. I have a different perspective though. I wanted a natty,
You wanted to who?
a national championship.
But see, money wasn't legal at that point.
Yeah.
It wasn't legal. But if
You wanted to
I
go
would-
to the league. What
I wanted to go
what
to
in the hell are
league.
you talking
I
about
wanted
right
to go
now?
to the league too, and I knew I would have a good chance of going to the league in
Exactly.
Carolina for sure. But that would have been tougher for sure. I don't. It's tough now because I can't see myself going anywhere else.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
that's true.
I couldn't see myself
That's
going
true.
anywhere
That's
else.
true.
But you get to Carolina. Hey, listen, it's a different breed out there. Different breed. You expected to win.
Mhm.
It's national championship of bust out there. What was your welcome to college moment?
Welcome to
And you going into college with who? Who's at Carolina at that point?
Oh,
You
man.
had some.
Oh, man.
You
we
had
got,
some
hey, man,
guys.
we got Antoine Jameson on the team.
Antoine
Oh,
Jameson,
shit.
Vince Carter.
Yes.
Shimon Williams.
Listen.
Yeah, so we got Antoine, Vince, Shimon Williams, Maktar Ja. He played in the league for like 2-3 years. Ademola Okalaja. He didn't play, but he was a great guy on our team. Rest in peace. He actually passed away. Played overseas for a minute. So we had a really, really strong squad. We actually went to the Final Four my freshman year.
Mhm.
Damn.
Yeah.
I would say this: one of the best teams that didn't win it.
Yes, easily.
Easily one of the best teams that didn't win it.
Easily.
Was Vince like that?
Woo. Vince would do something like just once a day that you just be like,
Wait, listen. Once a day.
Once a day is crazy.
like, you know, like once a day, Vince would just do something like,
Yeah.
and for him, it'd be so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
Mhm.
It
like,
looked easy in the league, so
like our first time, like, you know, I'm not sure how Coach Williams did it, but the starters, it was the whole, they didn't mix it up that first scrimmage. It was straight the starters versus the backups.
yep.
highlight tapes.
Yeah. I mean, we jump ball. So it's me, the freshman, some of the other second year guys,
Mhm.
that, and it's Vince, it's Twan, it's Shimon, Okalaja, like Ed Cota. Like it's their whole, yeah. The very first jump ball, we jump it up, boing, first possession. They get the ball. Somehow gets swung to Vince. Somebody overcommits to the jump shot.
Oh, damn.
There's a problem already.
Yeah. That's a problem.
I'm at the top of the key. I can't get there.
Yeah.
He's going down the baseline.
Yeah.
It's actually Coach Williams' son,
Oh, hell.
Scott Williams.
Not Scotty, boy.
Yeah,
Damn,
Scott
Scotty.
tried to take a charge.
Oh, Scotty.
Scott.
Ooh.
Cleared him.
Scott was a step outside of the paint. Vince flew over his head like the Jumpman sign and dunked it. Bow! I mean, attacked the rim like the rim owed him money.
Ooh.
And so I was like, ooh, I was like, oh, this is different. Oh man. They ain't got athletes like this in Greensboro.
No, hey, listen. No,
He
hell
different,
no.
yeah.
He's a one of one.
He
He's
one.
one.
He is a one of
Man,
one.
half amazing.
Yeah, so like
that shit's crazy.
that was crazy. But that team was so special. Like Antoine's ability to catch the ball and score from incredibly wild angles.
Mhm.
Like he was one of the craziest scores I've ever seen because it was just all touch and feel.
You say your sophomore year or your freshman year?
That was my freshman year.
That was your freshman year. People don't understand how fucking good Ed Cota. Ed Cota's one of my favorite point guards in Carolina history.
Mine too. He made my job so easy.
Yes.
Listen, man.
I catch the ball.
I just go to the lane. Man.
Yes.
Thank you. Like, dog, Ed, man, listen, like, Ed would always hook everybody up because he was going down the lane, had the Cota floater.
Yeah.
Then sometimes he'd throw that floater over and it'd be a lob pass, Vince Twan dunking it, man. Yeah, Ed made everybody's job easy.
So easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I've talked about, I said y'all and probably the 2012 team when Kendall broke his wrist.
Yeah.
That team was really fucking good, but y'all had a mob.
Yeah, we did. We were supposed to win that year. We ended up losing to, like, Utah, like Michael Doliak and Andre Miller.
How far did y'all go?
Final Four. We
Final
lost
Four.
in the first round of the Final Four, and that was the year I think Kentucky ended up winning it.
Sick.
Yep. Super sick.
You went how many years?
I went to Carolina 4 years. Went to two Final Fours, lost both times.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Freshman and what?
Freshman and junior year.
Who's on the junior team?
Me, Joe Forte, Chris Lang, Jason Capel, Julius Peppers, Ron Curry. Yeah.
Dog, you played with legends.
You done played with some people.
You done played with some legends.
So let me ask you this about Julius Peppers. Like, he was obviously nice in basketball, but did y'all, like, was his mindset like, was his mind, did y'all know, like, he going to the NFL? Like, and he just doing this for fun? Like,
we knew, well, Julius had a love for basketball. I promise you, if you ask Julius if he could have picked basketball or football,
he gonna pick basketball?
He'd have picked basketball.
Really?
He would have picked basketball. He loved basketball. Like, he would have come play pickup basketball in the summer. And you know how the runs are at Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be nice to step out there.
Different.
Yeah.
This is when I knew he was really different. Like, Vince came back. This is Toronto Vince. Vince is Vince.
Oh, shit.
He's in the league Vincent.
Oh, yeah.
And we're playing pickup, and I'm watching, and Julius is guarding him step for step. I'm watching. I'm like, yo, he's sliding, making life tough on him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, he is really guarding this dude. Like, Julius could have easily went to the league and been a 10-year pro.
Damn.
Easily.
Really?
Yeah,
He's
that's
not, yes. He's like, you have to realize what he was doing for us that year basketball-wise. Man, he wasn't working out all summer playing basketball. He stepped straight off the football field, barely knew the plays, and helped us make a run to the Final Four.
That's
All right,
crazy.
now that we already on it, that argument, how you feel about it?
About what?
Football players playing in NBA, NBA players playing in the NFL.
What about it?
Which one's easier? Which one is more capable of doing?
What have you seen more often?
Football players playing
basketball.
Mm-mm. At the highest level? How many guys?
Actually, no. Basketball players going to play football.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
Because you can base it on, like,
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
What's boys? Antonio Gates.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you start thinking about guys like that. Like, you see basketball guys transition way more. Like, I think it'd be football, if you have a certain type of mindset.
It's true. It's definitely.
Yeah.
Like, basketball, listen, man, if you a DB and you say, man, I want to play basketball, if you don't have no handle, or if you can't shoot that rock, you ain't gonna be out there.
Yeah.
It's totally different in football because they might say, well, if you fit this type of criteria, if you're this type of athlete, if you run a 4.3 and you're this height, size, speed, adjusted
we can put
weight,
you somewhere.
we can find a way.
Yeah,
you see a lot of guys that get invitations to play football based on their guys that play basketball, they get invitations to play football just based on their God-given,
I feel that.
makeup.
Ability,
I feel that.
But they definitely tougher than us, though.
No,
they definitely
100%.
They're wired differently.
Yeah, you got to be.
You got to be wired.
Man, listen. I told you I played JV.
Yeah.
I played JV 2 years. And I'll never forget, it was like the assistant coach for JV one day. Like, it was in the summertime, and he seen me in my neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
He's like, yo, man, where you? He said, what you doing? I said, what you mean? He's like, yo, man, we got practice for varsity. I said, brother, I'm not playing varsity. I'm not taking them hits. He said, man, I just did that good with Coach Hunt. Man, I'm done, bro. He said, come on, man, you got to play. I said, actually, I don't, man. I'm actually walking to the court right now.
That's funny.
We had to, back in there, you had to walk to the court. I'm walking to the court right now. Leave me alone. So I didn't want none of them
playing
hits.
varsity football.
Yeah, nah,
you can count that out.
It's out.
First game that you realized I can play at this, I can do my thing at this level at Carolina.
College or?
At Carolina.
Blue-white game. Blue-white game.
Yep.
Because once again, like,
you had guys on your team.
Had guys on my team, had guys I knew were going to be pros.
Yep.
And I was going out there and I was making certain plays. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I got a chance to get out here because, like, hey, man, I'm dunking, finishing,
Yeah.
doing things I'm supposed to do. Like I told you, Vince is out there. Twan is out there. Maktar Jai, like, he's a guy that's out there. Like I said, he played in the league for a little bit. I'm like, it wasn't like they're running offense through me, but I'm like, I can screen roll, go to the basket, finish,
Yeah.
catch it off the rim,
Yeah.
run the court hard. I can do all that. And so once I'm like, if I can do all that against these guys, I know a couple of these guys going to the pros.
Yeah.
Well, when we played like some of these other schools, I'm good.
For sure.
And
And listen, everybody says this saying, the practice should be harder than the game.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
playing against pros every day at practice, the game ain't shit.
Yeah, it's
I'll tell
easy.
you that right now.
You got to guard Antoine Jameson every day.
Yeah, that's ooh,
and,
that's
and the Carolina offense is for the power forward.
Yes.
So all them switches where like them cross screens, like that's how like Antoine, Sean May,
Yep. T-Hands.
Hansborough, like, man, listen, if
And
you
nothing you
if,
can do
if,
with
you,
'em.
if you got to guard them dudes, everybody else seem a little bit easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Antoine Jameson was a nightmare in college. He was a
I
nightmare in the
believe
pro, but in college, whew,
I
There's
believe
nothing
it.
you can do with
nothing
it.
you
Yeah.
can do super quick.
Which team you feel like had the better chance of winning it? Your first year or your junior year?
First year,
First year.
we had the Antoine Vince. Antoine Vince, and people really slept on what Shammond Williams was too.
Oh.
Slept on.
I know.
Shammond Williams is slept on when we talk about like
Carolina
Carolina
greats.
greats that made it to the league, and you know he probably ended up playing maybe like 5-6 years,
Yeah.
and he could have played more, but he loved to play so much he'd rather go overseas and get minutes than to
Get
sit on an
minutes,
NBA
yeah.
bench. Yeah, so
Respectfully,
was an
though.
issue.
Shammond was a problem. I mean, he wasn't missing nothing.
When did you learn the game of basketball? And what I mean by learn, like I feel like as a point guard, you got to know the game.
Right.
As a center, you got to know the game because you're not getting the ball, you're not getting like the offense ran through you and
When
things
it
like
slow
that.
down for
When
you.
it slow down for you.
Got enough pants creep all up on me, man. I'm looking like an old man out here, man. Man, y'all ain't telling me my pants.
Hey, listen.
Hey.
You 7 foot. Shit.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I'm saying, man, my
I was
pants
like,
think
they
I'm
don't make
Wendy
pins.
Howard. I hope they got me from the waist up.
Yeah. No, you
Hey,
good.
hey, edit that. For sure. Internet is unforgiving.
Yo.
I think the moment that, started learning the game of basketball, it was just every single game. Because when you're at
Yeah.
Carolina, they teach you the right way. And they teach you the right way to do things. And it seems
Yeah.
corny or like I'm a walking like billboard for Carolina, but it's the truth. Like when we start doing individual workouts, I start understanding this is the hand you play the passing lane with.
Mm-hmm.
I start understanding this is how you show out on pick and rolls.
Yep.
This is where you need to be defensively. This is how you shoot a jump hook. This is how you get your timing right, your footwork right. You start doing that every day, and it's every day. You got to do it every day, and you
Yeah.
got to do it right every day. You know the drills. Come out, deny with this hand. If you do it the wrong way, start over.
Yep.
If you keep messing up, we all on the line.
Yep.
And so what happens is you start getting drilled the right things every single day, and you
Mhm.
start understanding, oh, this is where I need to be to block that shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that shot went up on this side of the basket. Oh, I need to be busting my behind to get to the weak side. I'm long and athletic. If I can just get in the middle of the lane and carve out space, if it come anywhere on this side, I got that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just start over time doing the proper thing every single day.
It's second nature.
It starts to teach you how to play.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
11 years?
Come on, don't shortchange me.
Whoa,
14.
yeah, 14.
Whoa.
I'm
14.
tripping.
14.
That's
14.
crazy.
14. Come on now.
That was
That's
crazy.
crazy.
14 years.
You done
Crazy.
took 3 years off.
I did
Man.
take
I earned them 3
3
too.
You did. Hey,
Man.
you definitely did. 14 years. You don't get 14 years if you don't know the little stuff.
Right.
Because after the, what would you say, your opinion? First 2 years, they going off pretty much potential.
Right.
They just trying to see how you do. After the 2 years, they got to rely on you. They got to be like, we know he gonna be in the right place at the right time, and we got to count on him that he gonna do his job every single night.
Your first 2 years, it's all about potential and growth.
Yep.
After that is, what do you do that helps us win?
Yeah.
And as a big, I had an assistant coach, and he would always say, hey, if you can do one thing in the paint, just one thing to affect the paint,
Mhm.
offensively or defensively, you can play for a decade in the league.
Damn.
If you can do two things, you might get a max salary. And
Do
that's
it.
one of those things. It's like, hey, can you rebound?
Yep.
Can you block shots?
High level.
Are you a finisher?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Can you score it in the paint? Whatever it is you do, because the game was different then. It wasn't all about threes
sure.
when I
Yeah,
came in 2001.
Yeah. They're playing two bigs. When
Exactly. If you were big and you could do one thing they had to figure out. I think the biggest thing I see is a lot of guys don't understand their identity.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to do everything. And it's like, hey, I remember
There's only a certain amount of those.
I remember shout out rest in peace, Coach Caples, Jason Caples' father.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a summer workout and I was doing like step back jumpers.
Oh, hell.
Oh,
I mean, don't do me like that, Theo. I was trying to expand
hell
my game.
no.
Theo, I was trying to expand my game.
Hell no.
Theo, I was trying.
Hell no.
Theo, I was trying to expand my game.
Back then too.
Exactly.
No. Hell no.
And he pulled me over there and he said, "Why are you working on that?" I said, "Because I want to expand my game." He said, "How many regular jumpers do you get a game?" I said, "Maybe 1, 2." He said, "How many step back jumpers you think you're gonna get a game?" He said, "Matter of fact, how many shots you gonna get a game?" I said, with the guys you playing with, how many shots you getting? Maybe 5, 6. And you gonna waste 2 of them on step back jumpers? He said, "You need to be practicing what you do well for you."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You need to catch the ball, be able to finish with left hand, right hand in the paint, jump hooks, turnaround jumpers, step throughs, up and unders, and then everything else that you do well as far as rebounding." He said, "Your offense is a bonus. He said, "Brendan, you're not an offensive player. No one is going to pay you to score."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Thought he was hating.
Yeah.
But he was telling me the God's honest truth.
Yeah,
and then
facts.
once I got into the league, I was like, you know what? They don't care if I have 10 points, but they care if I have 10 rebounds.
Yep.
They don't care if I made 5 jump hooks, but they care if I got 5 blocks.
Yes.
And so for me, I started realizing slowly but surely what it was about for me
Mm-hmm.
and what helped me. And so I was like, okay, the best rebounders in the league, they grabbing 1 rebound every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't care if I'm playing 15 minutes, I better have the appropriate amount of rebounds. Can't come out of there with 1 if I play 15 minutes because I didn't do my job.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so it's just figuring out in the league what is your role and doing that to the best of your ability. Some guys play defense, some guys are scorers, some guys are rebounders. It is what it is, but you just got to figure out, what do I do well? Some guys are just strictly shooters. What do you do well? And focus on that, because there's only going to be maybe 1, 2 guys tops to get the boogie and do whatever they want.
Yep.
And we need to clip that and put that on URBL pod.
No, facts.
Because they need that. Like,
we talk about that all the time.
All the time.
And like in basketball now, I think it's like we always talk about, it's the egos. Everybody want to be the man. Everybody used to being the man. But when you get to the league, like you said, there's only one person that can boogie. So what else you gonna be able to do when that person trying to get off the ball and you get the rock? You know what I mean?
For sure. What was the thought? Well, of course, you're a senior. At that point, it's time to go to the league.
Right.
You're going into your senior year. How did your mentality change knowing the next step is the NBA? How did you approach your senior year?
I approached my senior year, I wanted to be in the best shape possible. That was the biggest thing. It was we were switching coaches. We were going from Coach Guthridge to Coach Doherty.
Yep.
And I just said, I want to be in the best shape possible for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I'm playing as much pickup basketball as possible. I'm running, I'm lifting. I mean, I was out there running sometimes by myself, which wasn't like me. No one wants to run no one wants to run like sprints and things of that nature. And you know, we got like the 7-minute run, the Carolina Mile run. I was making sure I was prepped for all that. And so the biggest thing was I wanted to be in great shape, because when you're in great shape, you don't take no shortcuts.
Yeah.
You know, when you in great shape, I can go to the offensive glass every play.
Yeah.
I ain't tired.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you out of shape, you gotta pick your poison. Like,
yeah, facts.
I'm not getting that one.
Do I want to go on this one, or I want to get back on defense? I'm gonna get back.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just being in great shape. I felt that I was going to be, at that point, I knew I was going to be an NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, hey, how high am I going to go?
For sure. And I'm glad you touched on that, because there are guys that's in that position, seniors, 5th-year seniors, that's getting ready to take that next step. And how they need to approach it, they need to prepare now. Because when it gets here, the NBA, that motherfucker.
That shit is no joke. Yeah,
they'll chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah,
they will.
In a hot second.
You'll be gone before you know it.
Yeah,
Exactly. So, draft time. How many workouts you do?
Too many. Too many. Because I didn't know where I was going. Like, the guys that know they're going in the top 5, they're doing like 1-2 workouts.
Yeah.
Well, I was slotted to go anywhere from like number 9 to like number 18. So, you know, you got to work out for a bunch of different teams. You got to work out for a couple teams in front of 9 just in case they like you. Then you got to work out for the teams in your in all those slots. And then you got to work out for a couple teams behind the slot just in case you drop.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, so I had too many workouts to count.
Best workout.
Houston.
Worst.
Toronto.
Toronto
They had that damn beep test, man. I hated that. Did they still have that when you came?
Nah, they didn't have the beep test.
Do you know what the beep test is?
Yeah. We did it when I was in Brooklyn.
Hate that test.
That shit was rough.
Yes.
That shit was rough as hell. Draft night.
Mm-hmm.
You made it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten to that moment for you. You've been dreaming of this since Coach Price got you off that damn bus.
Right.
What is that feeling like for you and your mom and your family?
My draft night was just like my basketball career. Up to that point, it was rocky, and that's just how draft night was. Like, I was supposed to go. I thought there was a good chance I was going to go number 9.
Mm-hmm.
And
who's a 9?
Pistons.
Okay.
And the Pistons told me, I sat in Joe Dumar's office. He said, "Listen, we're taking you at 9 unless there's a guy there by the name of Rodney White."
Uh-huh.
Rodney White played at UNC Charlotte. Cold, 6'9", put on the floor, had the game.
He straight up with you.
He said, "Yeah, we're taking you at 9." He said, "But we don't think Rodney White's going to be there."
Mm-hmm.
Draft night, man, there's some guy from overseas that totally messes up the draft.
What?
Guy turned out to be pretty good.
Yep.
He wasn't supposed to be drafted high at all.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be going, like I was, on the draft boards, you would see him like 10 and later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ends up going number 3. His name's Pau Gasol.
Oh.
But no one, like we don't know dude.
He's an okay player.
Yeah. He turned,
He's decent.
So Pau Gasol totally throws off the draft because you know how it is when somebody that's not supposed to go top 10 shoots up to 3, it's a trickle-down effect.
Mm-hmm.
And now, where Rodney White wasn't supposed to make it,
Rodney White gets there.
He's there at 9. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. I think Seattle might look at me.
Yeah.
Seattle comes. I want to say they took Vladimir Radmanovich. I was like, Had great workouts in Orlando. I said, great workouts in Orlando. I'm like,
going to Florida, baby.
I'm going to Florida playing with T-Mac and Grant Hill.
Woo!
Yes, indeed. Number 15 pick, I just know they call him by name. Stephen Hunter. I'm like, oh, man.
Damn.
So, mind you, I worked out from guys from like 9 to 15. So I'm getting, 9 to 18. So I'm getting nervous. I'm like, okay, I told you. Had a good workout for Houston.
Yep.
That's all right.
H-Town,
couple picks go by. Houston comes up. I think they took Jason Collins.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Collins twins.
Yeah.
I forgot. But I was just like this. Houston came and went. I said, oh, no.
Yeah, oh, no.
I said, man. My boy was like, well, who's next? I said, man, I ain't worked out for none of these other teams. I don't know where we going. I don't know where we gonna go. He said, what you mean? I'm worried. I'm thinking, because like a couple years ago, that was the whole Rashard Lewis fiasco when he got left in the green room and was crying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to get left in the green room. So I start seeing picks go by. Indiana, Kirk Haston. I'm like, Kirk Haston went in front of me, bro? No disrespect, Kirk Haston. But I was just like, yeah, what?
Yeah. What is happening right now?
What's going on?
I'm like, okay, what's going on? And so I'm nervous. And then with like the 20th pick, it's the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have not worked out for Cleveland.
Yep.
But the thing about the draft is when it's your time, all of a sudden you just see the camera just come up on you.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there like, and like with the 20th pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers, I see that camera start coming towards me. I sit up real quick. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm going.
Yeah.
And they took me with the 20th pick, and they actually took that pick for Orlando because I had really good workouts for Orlando too.
Yep.
So Orlando traded back into the first round, and Cleveland drafted me for the Orlando Magic.
That's a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah, roller coaster.
Yeah,
My basketball life was a roller coaster, man. So the draft process was supposed to go that way for me, man. So that's how.
Man,
yeah, that's
crazy. A doozy for you right
that
there.
Is.
Yeah.
What is that feeling like when you don't? Now, let me go ahead and tell you this. I would say about 85% now. 85% of guys that we have on here don't get drafted by the team
they work out
with.
Yeah.
Shit don't happen. What is that feeling like? You have no idea what the fuck you're walking into. Even though you went to Orlando, but you getting called by Cleveland. You don't know you're going to Orlando. Did you know you were going to Orlando?
I had no idea.
Okay.
All I knew was Cleveland was getting me out of that green room.
That's all that matters.
I hugged David Stern like he was my best friend.
Yeah.
Like like I said, at that point, I didn't care. I'm in the league. The dream was to make it to the league.
Yeah.
I didn't just, hey man, I got to be a Knick or I got to be Orlando. Like, no, I just wanted to make it.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it. I had a goal. I wanted to get there. I wanted to change my family's circumstances, environment.
Yep.
And so, like, I didn't care if it was Cleveland. I had no idea I was going to Orlando. I figured that out in the back. They started telling me, hey, you're not going to Cleveland.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, well, Orlando sounds pretty good.
Yes.
And then the wild part is after Summer League, I got traded from Orlando to the Washington Wizards.
To Washington.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it was just, hearing my name called was a great experience. My mom was there. I was with 2 of my best friends, actually 3, and just being able to share that moment with family and friends is great.
That's unbelievable, bro. That's
a dream right
feeling.
there.
That's what everybody dreams of as a kid. Let me ask you this: you're in Summer League and you get traded. What's going through your head?
It's after Summer League. So
you play with Orlando.
I played with Orlando in Summer League. Me and Stephen Hunter actually, it was like a Twin Towers type thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, man, we got some young, this might work.
Yeah.
I wanted to be here anyway.
Yeah.
You know, Grant Hill's already calling me, talking about how he's going to take me under his wing. I'm like, man, I know he's a Duke guy, but this guy seems pretty cool.
This is a good dude.
He's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? And then I get the call. My agent's like, yo, I got good news and bad news. He's like,
shit.
The bad news is you're getting traded from Orlando. He said, the good news is you're getting traded to the Wizards. And Michael Jordan made the trade for you. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Hey.
All right.
Great name.
Yes.
That's a great name.
MJ.
Yeah.
At this point, we already knew he was coming back.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, wow. Okay. And so it was just getting a chance to go to the Wizards. And I was, like I said, I was disappointed that it wasn't Orlando, but I'm getting a chance to play Michael Jordan. It's incredible. So going to DC, it was no letdown. It was no woe is me moment. It was like, yo, I'm still in the NBA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to play one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And it was just great to have that opportunity.
How was that? Well, this is my question. Playing with MJ at that time in his career, like what he like got 1 or 2 more years?
Yeah, I played 2 years with MJ.
2 years.
Yeah.
Is MJ giving everybody like free shoes at this point? Because Jordan's is the shit at that time. Like
that ain't really how MJ rolls.
You gotta earn them shit.
That makes sense. Okay.
You gotta earn.
You gotta earn them.
Listen, you gotta earn them Jordans for sure. Or
makes sense.
So no, he wasn't doing that. He wasn't doing that.
Makes sense.
I meant to ask you when we was talking about college, how special was Carolina Duke game for you?
Incredible.
I say this to this day. If there's one game, and I did 4 years at Carolina, you did 4 years. It was time for me to go after my 4 years. I was taxed out.
Right.
I will always miss that game though.
The game, the lead up to it, the build up is different.
It's different.
It's a different game.
Yeah.
The only type of build up that I think is bigger than that is like when you make that run in the Final Four.
Yeah.
The build up from a mental standpoint, like, yo, this is a different game. Like, you're going to get, I know we have a bunch of rivals. NC State, they want to be our rivals. They want to be.
Yeah.
Wake Forest, NC State, you're not our rivals.
Yes.
Wake Forest wants to be our rival. You're not our rivals. You know, Clemson, nah, I'm sorry. Y'all never win here. But at the end of the day, that Duke game is something different. It's the energy. It's the attention. And for me, it was great because my senior year, I actually won in Cameron. And I got a chance to hit the game-winning free throws with the game on the line.
Tough.
Oh, damn. Play the clip.
Yeah. I had no idea. It was a wild moment because we had a play where I'm supposed to catch a full court pass. It was a tie game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to catch a full court pass and then kick it to the side for somebody else to get a shot.
Yep.
I forgot the name of the play call. I'm sure you ran it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Well, out of nowhere, Shane Battier tries to get the steal, and he runs through me and gets fouled.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fouled with like probably anywhere under 5 seconds left on the clock. Maybe 3, 2, I forgot, but it's not a lot of time left on the clock.
Yep.
In Cameron Indoor Stadium, not the greatest free throw.
Yes.
Stop laughing, Theo. Stop laughing. Okay, I was better at other things. Stop laughing. And so at the free throw line,
Duke think they won. They're like, yes.
They're like, if anybody gonna go to the free throw line, we want it to be Haywood. And the wild part is, my freshman year, I was in the exact same situation, and I blew it.
Damn.
And I came back, and we're in Cameron, tie ball game, under 5 seconds on the clock. I'm feeling every nerve in my body. First free throw, cash.
Yeah.
Cash money.
Uh-huh.
I'm feeling myself so much. I walk over there to Coach Jordan, like, yo, you want me to miss the second one on purpose? Yeah. He's like, hell no, man, make the goddamn shot. He run over there like, I'm running over there like I'm Mark Price or something like that. Like I'm about to start missing on purpose.
What you want me to do, Coach? You want me to miss this one?
Want me to miss it up high? Like, no, he's like, no, just make it. And so then I go over there, second free throw, splash.
Mm-hmm.
And game-winning free throws at Cameron, that's that. So that was a great moment for me. Oh, they still show that game on Greatest Games.
For sure.
And I love it. That's just one of the moments I'll always cherish as far as in my UNC career.
You know your record against them?
Against Duke?
Yeah.
Probably not good. They had Elton Brand and all them boys, Will Avery, Corey Maggette. We caught some L's. Jay Williams. Yeah, we caught some L's. But we won that game. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I won my last game.
Yeah, I won my last
one. That's all that fucking matters. Dog, I'm telling you. I think I got a losing record against them too.
Yeah.
What up, everybody? It is time for Theo's Picks, and y'all know what time it is. You know we sponsored by DraftKings. Go over to DraftKings right now, download the app, and use promo code RACE. And it's NBA Cup time. So y'all know we got to make these picks. Let's get right into it. First game, NBA Cup. Orlando versus Milwaukee in Milwaukee. I'm going to go Milwaukee in that game. I think they're playing good basketball. Their stars are being stars, role players being role players, playing at a high level, shooting the ball well. And I think Orlando still has some room to grow, and one of Orlando's star players isn't playing, so I think that's going to hinder them a little bit. And it's a road game, so we'll see what happens there. Next, it's a game of the night, though. You got Dallas versus OKC in OKC. I think I'm going to go Dallas, though. I think they're playing good basketball. I think they're figuring it out. One of my boys on the team, one of my homeboys is hooping, and they playing at a high level, and they got the stars they have are slightly bigger stars than the other stars they got on OKC, and I think Dallas is going to come out and win that game. It's going to be a playoff-like atmosphere, a rematch of last year's playoff, and I'm excited to see the outcome of that one, but I got Dallas winning that one, moving on. Wednesday, December 11th, we got Atlanta versus New York. In New York, rematch of the 2021 playoffs, or is it 2020? I can't remember, one of the two. But a rematch, playoff-like atmosphere. Atlanta is playing very well, but New York is playing a little bit better. So I got New York winning that game. It's in New York, so I think they're going to come out on top. Next, we got the young guns, and then we got the vets. We got Golden State versus Houston in Houston. That's a tough one, because Golden State is not playing well right now, and Houston is finding their stride, winning some tough games. I'm going to pick Golden State, though. The reason I'm going to pick Golden State is because they've been in atmospheres and feelings like this, and they have that man on that team. And y'all all know who I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, I'm going to go with them until they lose. So I got Golden State winning that game. So I got New York, Golden State, Milwaukee, and Dallas moving on. And that's Theo's Picks. So y'all know what to do. Y'all go to DraftKings, download the app, and use promo code RACE. Now let's get back to the episode.
But let's go to your rookie year. What was your welcome to NBA moment?
Lonzo Mourning.
Uh-oh.
Easy work.
He said easy
I
work.
remember this one because my coach was Doug Collins.
Mm-hmm.
And Doug's a great coach. And he is incredible with like scouting reports and details. And I'm getting into the league, so I'm learning guys' tendencies. So before the game, he's like, Brendan, Lonzo only goes right.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, all you got to do is when he goes right, just slide your feet with him and get big, and you'll affect that jump hook.
Yeah.
I said, all right, coach, I got you.
Yeah.
Caught it on Lonzo Mourning, caught the ball on me, faced me up. I think all I can hear is coach's voice in my head. He only goes right.
Only go right. Yep.
Man, that man jabbed hard right. I slid right there with him. But he didn't go right. It's the preseason. I guess he was working on his game. He jabbed right, went hard left. He went left, I went right. I was like, man, I'm still a shot blocker. I'm with the wrong way, so I'm about to time him up at the rim.
Yeah.
Boom! Hard. Dunked on Zoe. I was like, oof. It was the preseason, so a lot of people didn't catch it. But yeah, that was I was like, okay,
Oh, my
that's a little
gosh.
bit different. It was like one of my first preseason moments. Got in there, quick jab step, drive hard, banged it on me. Carolina, I probably hadn't got banged on in 4 years in a game.
Right.
Whooping up, like, because I could just stand in the middle of the lane, just be big.
Yeah,
So this is my first time really getting dunked on hard, like in your face.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I'm here now.
That was a little bit different.
That's a different breed. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Shit.
Coach Collins set me
Set
up.
me
Yeah,
up.
he
Coach
set you
Collins
up.
set me up.
Set me up.
I should have known, man.
Yeah.
He's a Duke guy, man.
No, exactly.
I should have known.
Yeah, exactly. First couple years were rough, though.
Yeah.
First couple years are rough. You got MJ. What was it like playing with Michael Jordan? And wasn't he the GM too?
Yeah, that was different. But
I forgot he was.
remember he came down from the front office.
Yeah.
And so it was wild because guys be like going out and I'm like, y'all know y'all partying with the boss, right? They be like, Brennan, you want to come? Like, nah, I'm just gonna stay in the room, play my video games.
I'm good, bruh.
Yeah, but it was great playing with Mike because I got to see why he was Mike.
Yeah.
You think a lot of times people think great players are great because they just roll out of bed and they're great. And for him, it was like, nah, the work ethic was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
At 40 years old, 39 years old, he done proved everything. He's still in the gym before everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he's there with Tim Grover lifting early, getting up shots, like footwork is impeccable. Had a young dude on our team by the name of Bobby Simmons. And like MJ, Bobby ended up leaving us and ended up becoming
Milwaukee?
I want to say like Bobby had like a couple of really good years. I want to say he got like most improved or something like that. But Bobby was just all the footwork stuff that MJ was teaching. Like, yo, you read him this way. Like, yo, when you jab this way, like everything he did was calculated. I was watching when he was teaching Bobby.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wasn't teaching me none of that stuff. You know, I couldn't do nothing with it. But he was teaching Bobby, like, yo, when you jab, you read this way. He drops his foot this way, you counter with this. And so I started seeing this ain't by accident. He's reading your body move. He's reading your body language. Oh, you drop that top foot, I know I'm going here. That defense rotates, I know I'm getting to this fade. Like, up and unders, all that. And it's just like seeing how much work he put in, how calculated he was, and then the competitive nature. I mean, he didn't want to lose at nothing. Like, that's 2 years. I mean, you can't pay for that.
Yeah.
Like, you get to see the best of all time, and you get to see what makes him that. You know, so he just in practice he just didn't want to lose at all.
What was the biggest adjustment for you going to the league?
Defense. And it
that's
was
something you were great at.
Yeah, but I won't say defense. It was the biggest adjustment was two things: size and speed.
Yep.
Now it's a bunch of guys my size, and they're strong.
Yeah.
And they're fast, quick, athletic. So you can't be playing around. Ain't no bringing the ball down, like get a rebound, bring it down. By the time you bring it down and go back up, somebody's coming on the weak side to beat that up.
Facts.
You better keep it high.
Yep.
You know, better develop that jump up. Yeah. Because you trying to shoot a shot over a guy like Mutombo, lay it up if you want to. No.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mutombo. But for me, defense was different because in college I could just stand in the middle of the lane.
Yeah. Yep.
If my guy couldn't shoot, he could be at the 3-point line. I'm in the middle of the lane. Come on in here if you want to.
Yeah.
There's a reason I got the shot block record at Carolina.
Yep.
Because I'm just standing in the middle of the lane,
For sure.
being big. In the league, I had to understand timing, illegal defense, getting out the lane, pick and roll defense. I had to know how to show out on pick and rolls. You know, it was different. And then you're showing out, you got to show out, recover, get back, understand where the rotations were. And that was a little bit different for me because I didn't have to do all that in college. I just stayed in the middle of the lane and got
For 4
big.
years.
For 4 years. Yeah. So that was probably the biggest difference: the size and speed, and the time and the timing on defense.
So you had a moment in Carolina where it was pretty early that you figured it out. When was that moment for you in the NBA?
In the NBA, moment that I figured it out, probably I'm not sure if I had like a moment, but it was just like, as I start, like my rookie year, I'm playing, and it's one of those things where you start making plays.
Yeah.
And then I'm playing with Jordan. So it's like, man, I cut to the basket, I'm like, yo, Mike got confidence in me. He throwing me the ball right here. I'm dunking it.
Yeah.
And just slowly but surely figuring out that, oh man, like, hey, I can play with these guys.
Exactly.
These aren't just the guys that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I can go out there and I can guard on Alonzo for a little bit.
For sure.
You know, I can go out here. I'm playing against, Hakeem Olajuwon was older back then. It didn't matter to me. He still blocked the shot out of bounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He might have been with the Raptors, but
sure.
it didn't matter. But
It did not matter.
It wasn't Houston Hakeem, I'll tell you that. But it was, but it was still like going against the guys like that you grew up watching and idolizing and making plays against them. It's like, oh, okay. You know, like, hey, like I'm playing against Shaq and I just blocked a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't talk no trash because you'll wake big fella up. But it was
Yeah.
just like, hey, like seeing those type of moments playing against the guys that I grew up watching and idolizing, that's when I'm like, oh, okay, I can hang here for a minute.
Yeah.
There's always a guy, who was a guy that you first saw that was like, damn, I'm really playing against this dude.
Shaq.
Mm.
Shaq.
Different.
Because I get
Which
out.
Shaq was this?
Yeah, I was about to say, what's Shaq?
Laker Shaq.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I ain't talking about Boston Shaq.
Yeah. You saw the Shaq.
Yeah, I seen Laker Shaq and Miami Shaq.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Laker Shaq, it was just, you walk out there and first of all, you play in the Lakers.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's Shaq and Kobe.
Yep.
It's the hottest ticket in town.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's, he's bigger than you, he's stronger than you, and he's faster than you. And it's like, wow. He is everything I saw on TV. I really hope Kobe goes for 40 tonight. Because I don't want this I don't want this guy getting the ball at all. Like he would just go through your chest. Like he hit me in my sternum one time, bruised my sternum. I couldn't laugh for a week. I promise, because it hurt. It hurt.
Yeah.
The bruised sternum, it hurts to laugh. And so like all them jokes were no longer funny.
Yeah,
and so he was a different breed. Playing against Shaq was just like, wow, I'm playing against the guy that I really grew up. Like I watched him when he was at LSU. Like, yo, this is crazy. Like I watched him win championships and like now I'm playing against Shaq. So it was a little bit different.
Big games like that, how did you like prep for it? What was your like pregame routine or anything that you did?
First and foremost, you're playing against Shaq, don't go out the night before. Pack a lunch. Stay inside. Listen, I didn't have no fun in LA until he left. They're like, we going out tonight. I'm like, yeah, I'll be in the room. Y'all going out tonight. I'm about to watch a movie. I got Shaq tomorrow. But the biggest thing was you had to try to compete from a physical standpoint, as far as like you had to try to outwork him. Like, man, I can't let him get to this spot on the court, or I got to try to bump him a little bit earlier. But man,
there wasn't much you could do.
But the great thing about that time was I had MJ on the team. So Kobe was trying to prove to MJ who he was. So a lot of times Shaq wasn't getting the ball like that because Kobe was letting him. As a matter of fact, one time we played them in LA. I want to say Kobe dropped 40. He dropped like it was somewhere between, you can fact check me, somewhere between 30 and 40 before halftime.
On MJ?
No, it wasn't on MJ. It was actually on Jerry Stackhouse.
Damn, hey, Jerry.
Goddamn Jerry.
Jerry was getting his ass cooked.
Hey, watch out now. Jerry like the boogeyman. He will pop up.
He gonna definitely pop up.
God damn.
That's so crazy.
It was. Remember that Jay-Z song, Can't Shake the Unshakable, Break the Unbreakable. Let's Hovey, baby.
Yep.
They were playing that, but the crowd was screaming, it's Kobe, baby. The whole joint, can't shake the unshakable, break the unbreakable. It's Kobe, baby. Every bucket.
Ooh.
Different.
I want to say he might have, I want to say it was 37. Fact check me though, but it was definitely somewhere between 30 to 40 by halftime.
24-8 was better.
Ooh, that's ooh.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
24-8.
Cooking in both.
Yo, 8 was a different athlete though.
Yeah.
8 was a different. 24 was really thinking that game out there, but 8 was a 8 with the afro. Whew.
He was gonna come and dunk on you.
I think it was 24 when he became the Mamba.
Yes.
Yeah.
24 is when he came Mamba.
Yeah, because think about it. Number 8, he was rocking with Adidas.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, he was with Adidas then. That's why Mamba mentality, all that stuff was, with Nike.
Yeah. Damn. That's tough.
That MJ part, was people still fearing MJ, or they were still fearing MJ at that point?
Yes.
That is
Don't even
crazy.
finish your question. Yes.
Yeah, that is crazy.
No, because you got to realize what time it was. The young dudes in the league that were coming into the league grew up watching MJ.
Yeah.
Kind of like the young guys in this league now getting in there. They're stepping out there looking at LeBron. Like, oh my God, I'm playing against LeBron. That's how young guys were. And MJ will be Like MJ be at the jump ball and he could sense it.
Yeah.
I got him.
Like
Gotcha.
Like he'd be like our point guard was like Chris Whitney, like, yo, see Whit, let me get it early tonight. Young fellas and all. Like you'll see certain guys, they looking at the
He in all. I got him.
but because he'll see young fella looking at the shoes, the leg brace, like looking them up and down. Like he could tell like certain dudes want smoke.
Yeah.
And then there's certain dudes that's looking around like, oh my God, it's MJ. And MJ's cold-blooded. If you're looking at him like that, he can sense it and he's gonna try to take your heart out.
That's crazy.
He's trying to win every game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's a thing in the league now to where now it's like LeBron. Like if you play against somebody that got a signature shoe, you are not supposed to wear that person's shoe.
Hell no.
Why are you playing against
Don't
them?
do it.
That is not what you're supposed to do.
Don't do it. Go through, you did how many years in Washington?
8, 9 years in Washington.
8, 9 years in Washington. Then you went to Dallas. Then you went to Charlotte. And then
Cleveland last
Yeah,
stop.
Cleveland was your last stop. Ooh. Damn.
Talk about Dallas, because you won the shit.
Yes.
Dallas,
the
you got
shit,
2011 NBA championship. That's a journey.
Mhm.
That's a grind.
That was a
Yeah.
team, too.
I went to the West Conference Final tired as hell. NBA Finals playing against the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Dirk
First of all-
Nowitzki, AJ's favorite player.
My favorite player.
Yes?
Did y'all-
Okay.
what? I had a project on Dirk Nowitzki. All that. Like Dirk, I got a picture. I don't know where it's at. I think my mom got it somewhere. But
How
like,
different, and there's a debate on the greatest NBA Finals run.
Oh, it's not a debate.
Not a debate.
When you look at who Dirk had to beat, the only thing maybe close is maybe Hakeem Olajuwon's. They had a run. But when you look at who Dirk had to beat, obviously Portland first round, that's Brandon Roy.
Roy.
different.
LA.
Yeah, Brandon Roy. You know what I'm saying? So Brandon Roy was a problem for
He
those
was
knees.
different.
Issue.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
different.
Issue.
That's Brandon Roy and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yep.
Mhm.
Then you got to realize the next series, it's Kobe and Powell
Mhm.
Yeah.
coming off a championship.
Mhm.
Swept them. Then the next series, it's KD, Russ, and Harden.
Oh shit.
Gentleman sweep. Then the next series, Bosh, Wade, Bron. Like
Yep.
how many Hall of Famers did he knock off on that run? Your favorite Hall of Famers from that time period got clapped on that run.
Yeah, it's not no debate. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And it was to the point where he was the best player in the playoff. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the best
there
player
was
in the
nothing
playoffs.
you could do with him.
He was that series right there. He was cooking.
I love the fact that Dirk had quiet confidence. I won't say quiet confidence. He would say it to us. He just didn't feel like he needed to say it to the world.
Respect.
He would say certain little things. I'd be like, "Oh, I ain't know he was like that."
How
Like
special-
some guys like got to get out there and they got to
Yeah.
beat their chest and tell you, "Yeah, I'm like." KG had to announce, like,
Yeah.
and that's no disrespect. KG just he just basically said, "Hey," he had to let you know that I'm ticket.
Yeah, 100%.
Dirk
Dirk didn't have to do that.
didn't feel that way, but he would say something behind the scenes that was different. Like he'd just be like, "We taking on the big three." He's like, I don't they ain't no real big three. If they really wanted to create a big three, they would have came and got me. Dead serious.
Respectfully.
I'm like,
That's why he was different.
That's real.
yo,
That's why he
like if it was a real big three, hey, listen, no disrespect to Bosh.
I gotta ask.
If you should have came and got me, you ain't got me. You ain't got no big three.
The fake coffin. Did he see it?
We all saw it. Livid.
Pissed.
Whole team. LeBron James, D Wade. There were two things that pissed us off in that series.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was if you go back to game 2, they could have knocked us out.
Mm-hmm.
They're up 15 with like 5 minutes to play. And when they go up 15, D Wade scores right in front of our bench. And him and Bron shoot like a little mini rap video. They all in the camera, they are cutting up all in front of us. Go back and look at it. It was like 5 minutes to play, maybe 6. They're up 15.
Mm-hmm.
He gets that bucket, and D Wade holds the form up. Bron comes over there. They cut up, have a good time. And then Dirk, J. Terry, they do what they do. We go on that run. We win that game in Miami.
Uh-huh.
We didn't like that.
Yeah.
And the second thing that we really didn't like in that series was Dirk was really sick, and they thought it was playtime. And remember Bron, D Wade,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sick, dog.
Yeah.
Everyone on our team, we dialed in. We are so dialed in. Because at that point, it's like, yo, like, dude don't even say nothing to nobody.
Yeah.
And we still taking on the fact that at that point, Dirk really didn't like D-Wade based on what happened in the last finals and what D-Wade said after those finals.
For sure.
Right.
So we already were riding for Dirk because we understood that him and D-Wade had a little...
It was smoke already.
A little quiet, simmering beef.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, now he really disrespectful. This our leader. This our guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we were, everybody was dialed in after that. Everybody was definitely dialed in.
Boy. Hey, it looked like it.
Yeah.
It sure enough looked like it. I was like, oh... And Dirk don't even talk about it.
Dirk don't talk at all.
They talked about it a little bit on D-Wade's pod a little bit, but
he didn't like that D-Wade questioned his leadership after they lost in what I think it was like 06.
Yeah.
That really bothered him.
Mm-hmm.
That bothered him a lot.
He got his get back.
Yeah, he did. He got his lick back.
He got his
But that's the thing. That's the type of person he is. Like, it bothered him, but you'll never know.
Yeah.
You'll never know. And so that's the type of person he was.
I think that team was the perfect example of everybody doing their job.
Yes.
Oh,
at
100%.
an elite
100%.
level.
Everybody. This was a team. Everybody bought in.
Everybody.
Everybody had their money.
Mm-hmm.
Certain guys had their fame. So everybody was accepting of roles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sean Marion was an all-star, but he was used to getting the ball, a certain amount of celebrity and fame when he was in Phoenix.
Yeah.
He had to accept the role. Yo, you're going to be a defensive guy. You're going to be on the baseline. You're going to be an opportunistic scorer. He was on the baseline hanging out with me on the weak side.
Yep.
Yeah.
He wasn't used to that. He was used to getting opportunities in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Tyson Chandler, hey, man, block shots, run the court. Same thing with myself. Hey, we need you to do everything that Dirk doesn't do well.
Yeah.
Defensively. You and Tyson,
You gotta
Jan
cover him
Mahinmi,
up.
y'all cover him up. Then we had guys like J. Kidd. Already won at a high level. It's not about it's not about you. And he understood that. He's like, yo, I'm leading this team. He don't care if he get 5 assists or 15. He didn't care if it was him playing or JJ Barea.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yo, like, we trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, like Peja Stojakovic, back was about to go out. He said, he told us, this is my last run. Whether I win or lose, I can't play no more. My back shot.
Damn.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
crazy.
So everybody is slowly but surely. Deshaun Stevenson locking into his role, big time defense.
Yeah.
Huge.
He was huge.
He was huge for
in
y'all.
that
He was
series.
a spark plug because he's different.
Yes. You gotta have a guy, irrational guy on your
You got to
team.
have
got
one
to.
guy that's different.
Yes.
You got to.
D Steve is a different mentality. Like, he's the type that when Rick Carlisle's like, yo, we're going to pick up LeBron James full court, he's like, bet.
I got him.
I'll do that,
Mm-hmm.
which is different because no one did that to
No one
LeBron back
did that.
then. But we did a couple things a little bit differently. So you got to have those type of guys.
Yeah.
Jay Terry,
Boy.
irrational confidence.
Irrational. It didn't matter where he caught the ball.
Man,
He was
listen.
shooting.
It was
That
going up.
up.
And told
That
Bron what it was
up.
going to be. He said, man, listen. He said, I know for a fact you don't want to chase me around this court all day. Told him that right on in game. Like, yo,
That's a fact. He did.
bro, mind you, now he looking up Bron like six. Hey, I know you don't like. You know how do you know how confident you got to be? Jay Terry about 6'3", 185, soaking wet.
Yeah.
You looking up, talking to Bron. I know you don't want this smoke.
Yeah.
Like, you got to have a rational confidence, and everybody bought it.
facts.
He understood his role. Everybody was confident. I think the super irrational confident moment for us as a team was when we were actually at Deshaun Stevenson's house earlier in the season.
Yep.
His tattoo artist was there, and certain guys were getting tattoos.
What the fuck?
And yes, he had a party at his house. When we played in Orlando, because D. Steve lived in Orlando in the offseason. He had a party at his house. His tattoo artist was there. Guys were getting tattoos. And Jason Terry got a tattoo of the NBA Finals trophy.
That's crazy.
Yes, at that moment, he said, we're going to win it. I was like, man, that's bold.
That's
Yeah, that's bold.
Not
That's
sure if I
bold.
believe that all the way.
yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm with you, but I'm not getting no ink put on me.
Yeah.
What seed were y'all that year?
We were like 5th.
And y'all went on.
That's
a
why we
run.
had. That's why we had such a tough road.
Yeah.
Because when you're like the 5th seed, you know that 4 or 5 matchup is always smoke.
You're
Yeah.
even. Yeah.
And then you got to go ahead. Then you got to play like another tough game, and
Yeah.
like, you don't get any even games.
Yeah.
It's not like when you're the 1 seed. You know, the 8th seed might be
they
or
all
the
right.
7th seed if you're the 2 seed. But when you're the 5th seed, and people thought we were going to lose every single series. They thought Portland was going to beat us. They thought the Lakers were going to demolish us, and then they thought OKC and Miami was going to beat us as well.
Talk about like how important camaraderie is in the league.
Oh man, can't win without it.
Can't.
Everybody doesn't have to like each other, but there has to be a strong culture, camaraderie, and respect.
Mm-hmm.
Guys are gonna be different. There's gonna be certain guys. Hey, you got your video game guys. You got your guys that like to go out. You got your guys that like to gamble, play cards. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. But there has to be a camaraderie. We got to kind of genuinely like each other or have an understanding. And then there has to be a culture of how business gets done.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing I've seen from Washington to Dallas. Like I'm sitting there with Caron Butler and we're sitting there, we're like, yo, we had more talent when Gilbert was healthy in DC. But we have way more discipline here.
Mm-hmm.
It was not like when Gilbert Arenas was healthy, we had more talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gil, like we had so many talented players. Gilbert in DC, Gilbert Arenas, Caron Butler, Antoine Jameson, Andre Blatch, Nick Young, JaVale McGee. Didn't have a lick of discipline. We're out there just winging it.
Yeah.
We're kicking it. Those my guys. I had the most fun in DC.
Yeah.
The most fun, but that was because there was a lack of discipline.
Yeah.
And so when you get to that, when I got to Dallas, I understood what culture and discipline was all about. And sometimes you don't like it. Sometimes you're kind of fighting against it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see how it works. You get a little bit older. You're like, yeah, that's just what I needed.
What the hell was this gun about? What? You was there for the gun in the locker room. What the hell was that?
Oh, damn.
It was the stupidest thing. The gun situation with Javaris and Gil was the dumbest thing of all time. It's two guys that just let their pride and ego get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, it wasn't about either one of their money.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was JaVale McGee might have owed Earl Boykins money.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, jokes start getting made about you can't owe this guy money. And Javaris is like, yeah, you can't owe that guy. You can't be owing him money all trip. And then Gil starts talking about how Javaris owes money. And next thing you know, it just snowballs totally out of hand.
The
car. Oh man, somebody didn't do something right. And like I'm sleep because I don't gamble. Like losing money makes my soul hurt.
Yeah.
And so
I'm with you.
So I wake up and I see them arguing. I'm like, and they're saying everything.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I hear, I said, man, whatever. Like I see, like Gilbert says, man, get it with you. He said, man, if you feel like that, get it with your hands. And Gil don't even talk like that. I'm like, man, get it with your hands. That's a new one. I'm gonna write that one down. that's gonna be my new threat.
Yeah.
Get it with your hands. And so Javaris was like, man, I'll shoot you in your knee. I was like, ooh.
What the fuck?
And then Gil was like, oh, you want to talk about guns? I got all the guns. And so now it's gotten totally stupid.
Oh,
it's gone from a regular situation where we see it all the time where guys have words. Go fight.
Go fight.
And so I even told him, I was like, yo, man, why don't y'all just go fight when we get out in the parking lot? They're like, nah. We have an off day because we're coming back, I want to say, from like Phoenix. We have an off day on Sunday. On Monday, we walking in. You got to figure the stupidness would have calmed down by Monday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cooler heads normally prevail.
Yes.
Exactly.
For sure. You wake up, be like, that was stupid.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, well,
I'm
that's
sorry,
not what
guys.
happened.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Discipline.
Not
there.
I get to practice a little bit early, and as I'm walking in, I'm getting the story piece by piece. Because apparently Gil had basically said, oh, since you said you're gonna shoot me, here's a gun you can shoot me with. And it was like a gold Desert Eagle. And Gil means it as a joke. There's no bullets, but Gil, it's a bad joke.
Yeah.
And he's putting that in Javaris's locker.
Yeah.
Right? When he's doing that, Javaris walks in. And Javaris says, oh, I don't need your gun. I got my own.
Mm.
And I wasn't actually there for that. That was the hearsay part.
Yeah.
Because that's how the story kind of intertwines, because when I'm opening the door, they say that's when Javaris had threw a Desert Eagle across the locker room.
Yeah, that's
because I opened the door and our team trainer comes sprinting out. Oh, they got guns, they crazy. I'm like, what the hell? and I hear something like metal hit like a locker. I look over there and it's like this big gold Desert Eagle.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? Oh no. So I grab my gear and I immediately go change in the weight room.
Yeah,
I get out of there.
Yeah.
And
I'm gone.
then after that, then after that, they have whatever words they have and they cool down. But they brought the guns to the locker room. and we live in DC, and we're in DC,
Yeah.
and we're close to the White House, and we got certain gun rules and regulations, and
Yep.
even though they didn't have smoke no more, they done too much.
There's no
And
coming back from that.
yeah, and once they found out that the guns were in the locker room and the media got hold of the story, then man, heads had to roll. But the whole situation was silly because it was just over a card game. It wasn't even their money, and they really they really didn't really have that much beef. Like
Yeah.
Gil and Javaris were like they weren't great friends, but like Gil used to look out for Javaris a little
Yeah.
bit. So it was like
Yeah.
a situation that snowballed and went totally out of control. But yeah, I walked in the locker room, saw a Desert Eagle slide across my feet, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting the hell out
Yeah.
of
I'm
here.
gone. I'm in the weight room
Yeah.
changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm just here so I'll get fine.
Yeah.
At this point, how special? People don't understand how good Gilbert
Oh, my
Arenas
goodness.
fucking
Oh,
was.
Gilbert
Oh,
was
my
cold.
Oh my God! When I tell you every facet
Yes,
of the game, why the fuck was he playing in shoes like that though?
because he was crazy.
I think that shit was the dopest shit.
Like Gil be out there playing.
shit
Remember the
was
old Yeezys? You remember them red Yeezys?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
the
he's
hell
playing
was he
up.
doing?
Yeah,
Man,
the-
one time he's playing in like the black
Didn't he
and
play
blue
some
Air
Dada's
Maxes.
or some shit like that?
He played in Dada's, Air Maxes. He played in Yeezys. He played in like running shoes. He played in everything.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
That's how good he is,
Yes.
Now, Gilbert Arenas before that knee injury was incredible. Like just the way he scored the basketball, 6'3", strong, get to the cup, could shoot from range. Like, and the thing was, he was one of those the truly special players don't have to slow down when
Yeah.
they change direction.
Mhm.
So when you 6'3" and you going left and you can just cut right on a dime, like, man, look, I seen him give Tony Parker like 40 3/4. Easy work.
Oh.
Was you on the team
Easy
when
work.
he got cut from USA and he was giving everybody like 50, 40?
Yes.
Listen, you heard that story?
No.
Oh my
So he got Gilbert gets cut from Team USA for Kirk Heinrich. Like he's pissed. He's
Oh
like,
shit.
He's like Kirk, no
literally-
disrespect to Kirk Heinrich.
No,
But he's not
no.
Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah.
And so Gil's like, yo, I'm gonna give all these dudes buckets when I see them. So certain coaches, like Mike D'Antoni, what's your buddy's name? The coach, I can't think of his name. But certain coaches he had on his hit list. Anybody that coached on Team USA, he was on his hit list.
Yeah.
And man, he was going out there giving. We went to Phoenix. Man, he gave them that work. He gave them that. He even told. He said, "Hey man, y'all boys gonna be doing wind sprints tonight
Yo,
because I'm
yo,
getting them up."
Not like 20 points.
Like
I mean
50.
like 50.
50. A premeditated 50 ball.
That's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo.
That's a different breed.
No, but he was always different though.
Yeah.
Like he was
yeah.
different just in his mentality. He had just this belief in himself.
Mhm.
Like,
and that's what it is. That confidence. When you get that confidence,
the wildest part to me was he would have confidence. He would be super relaxed in really tight moments.
yeah.
Like, you know the shot that he hits on Darren Williams when he
Mhm.
shoots the three and turns around?
Yeah.
Like, we had tricked that game off. Like, we were up, they came back, and they're up too.
Yeah.
And so we sitting there, I'm like, damn, we about to lose this game. And the coaches over there, the coaches, they go to their own huddle, they drawing up the play, and Gil's sitting over here. He's like, man, I don't give a damn what coach draw up. You know what I'm about to do? 1-4 flat. Y'all get the hell out the way. If you think I'm lying,
And
go
it
watch
sounds
this.
just like
You think I'm lying, go watch this podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
He always talking about 1-4
Yeah.
flat. He said, man, 1-4 flat, get the hell out the way. I'm looking at him like, yo, bro, we about to lose this game. Can you lock in?
Yeah.
He's like, nah. He said, man, y'all, and he looks at Nick Young. You know what I do, and I don't do overtime. So I'm doing.
I don't do overtime. It's crazy.
I'm like, yo, this brother's crazy. Can you take the two? And so he's like,
Yeah.
and so he comes in, 1-4 flat, Darren Williams on him, bing, 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 takes the jumper and shoots it. The rest is history. Turns around, lifts his hands up to the crowd, boom, scene from a movie. Like
That's insane.
he just had, like Gilbert Arenas was just a special offensive player. He understood what he brought to the table. And like I said, in those moments, he wanted the ball. It didn't matter how he was shooting. He felt like he was going to knock down
Yeah.
the shot. He's one of those guys, if I miss my next 10, that means I got to hit. If I miss 10 in a row, that means I got to hit my next couple I'm due.
Yeah. Best team in Washington that had a chance.
Have a chance to do what?
yeah, I was about to say, they never really
I mean,
had
we
a
kept running up
chance.
against
Yeah.
that dude, that big head dude in Cleveland with the headband, man.
Yeah, they was about to say, they
I mean,
never really
we
had
had
a chance.
I'll say our best
To compete with the dude that had the headband.
our best team, probably from a camaraderie standpoint, was, I say our best overall team was Gil, Larry Hughes, Antoine Jameson, myself, just because like Larry was like Gil's big bro.
Got you. Okay.
So it was like, he was Gil, but he wouldn't get too out of control because Larry was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like it was that team was a special group. Jerry Jeffries on that squad. So like you know, like that crew was special. And like I said, even that team, like Gil had a moment in the first round of the playoffs. We actually upset the Bulls. And the craziest thing for me was he's playing terrible. Eddie Jordan draws the play up. It's a great play. It's a weak side pin down play for Larry Hughes. Gil's supposed to zipper up to the top of the key. For those that don't know what that is, that basically means he's supposed to come from the baseline, get a screen, go to the top, catch the ball. He's supposed to drive it, all eyes on him like he's Tupac. On the weak side, I'm going to come down, set a screen, a pin down screen on Larry because his man, everybody's going to be looking at Gil. Larry's going to pop wide open. Larry's having a great game. Larry's going to pop wide open, knock down the jumper. Gil catches the ball at the top of the key. Cool. I'm thinking he's going to drive to the middle of the court. Does not. Drives the ball away from Larry. Goes to like the mid-post area, between like the mid-post and the baseline, pulls a jumper up, iconic shot, like over Kirk Heinrich, his guy, and Tyson Chandler. Huge hand in his face. Pow. Game winner. We all come rush him. Ball game, walks off the court. And I was like, man, that's an incredible shot. And we celebrating in the locker room. I walk over there to him. I'm like, yo, man, how'd you know to go to the left and not give the ball to Larry? And this man, with all seriousness, looked at me in my eyes and said, Larry's supposed to get the ball?
That's a Gil answer.
I said, what do you mean? He said, I just watched the play to the moment that I knew where I was going to get the ball, and I just started figuring out how I was going to get my shot. I said, dog, you weren't even shooting well. He said, I knew I was going to shoot that one.
Right.
Like that, but that's how his mind
worked.
worked.
The confidence.
He was like, yo, once he heard coach say, okay, this is where you get the ball, he's just calculating, okay, how can I get my shot off? And
where everybody else going to be, where I can go.
He had, and the thing with Larry was wide open too. On the weak, if you ever go look at the play, like Larry is by himself on the weak side. It was actually a great play by Eddie Jordan.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. You did 2 years in Charlotte?
2 years in Charlotte.
2 years in Charlotte. But then you go play with that man in Cleveland.
Right.
Talk about that. You didn't play with two of the GOATs. How was that experience?
1A, 1B.
1A, 1B.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's your perspective on that?
Stop playing. Don't do me. Come on now. if anybody in the Carolina family doesn't say that MJ is number one, they're excommunicado. Come on now. MJ's the greatest ever. Come on, stop.
He is. Motherfucker ain't lose nothing.
At all. He don't even know what losing is.
He don't know what.
Man, this man is MVP, defensive player of the year.
It's insane.
He's MVP, first team all defense, finals MVP, all this, and leading the league in scoring all in the same year.
That's insane.
Only been done 4 times, all MJ. Say that again.
Yeah, that's crazy.
First team all defense, MVP of the regular season, MVP of the finals, lead the league in scoring. Only been done 4 times. MJ, and MJ.
Damn.
That's the greatest of all time.
That's how you end the debate with these young guys that want to talk about LeBron. That's how you end the debate with him right there.
I'm gonna take that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down.
You got that one though.
Yeah, clip that. It's over.
That's
Talk about
crazy.
playing with Bron though. Talk about that experience. I mean, he had just got back.
Yeah.
It was a moment that Cleveland needed, and he back with Kyrie Irving.
Right.
Boy, that's a show.
Yeah, man. I mean, playing with Bron was just. I'm glad I got a chance to play with Bron and MJ. Because I seen greatness, but I seen it done differently. Like MJ's more like, listen, if you not doing your job, MJ at your neck. Like if you can't help him win, he ain't got time for you. Bron is a little bit more diplomatic. He gonna try to talk to you a little bit. Then he ain't got time for you. But
I'm gonna do this myself.
He's like, hey, like, listen, can we get this done or not? Like, are you gonna follow? Are you gonna do things? Like, I would see him try to coach up Kyrie. Like, I remember there was a game in Utah, Kyrie had like 0 assists. I'm watching him. He's like, And Kyrie's making all the excuses like, well, you know, this guy dropped this ball and this guy didn't make. He said, you got the ball in your hands way too much not to have no assists.
Yeah.
We can't win like this. So to watch how he was coaching up the young guys, because, you know, it was a little bit different because at that point, I don't really think Kyrie and Dion Waiters were ready to allow Bron
Take the ring.
to take the reins because it was a long time ago, but we once lived in a world where Kyrie and Dion Waiters were considered to be one of the up-and-coming backcourts.
Yeah.
And they used to have debates. Who's better, Kyrie and Dion or Beal and Wall?
Yeah.
Steph and Clay. Like, there was Dame and CJ. Like, they were having these questions. So these guys were being forced to play a different way. They don't have the ball as much.
Yep.
And it was a different process because I watched Bron teach them, or at least try to teach them how to win.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, this is how you have to go about doing it. And he would let them lose games their way and then come back and show. Like,
Really?
yeah, he would it'd be games where I would just watch. And I'd be like, Mike Miller's over there because Mike played with him in Miami. Like, he chilling a night killer. That's Mike says killer for everything. Yeah, killer. He chilling a night killer. He's letting them, okay, y'all think y'all can do this? Y'all go ahead and do it. And then he's seeing who's going to pick it up and who's going to learn. And certain guys learned, certain guys didn't. You know, Dion didn't learn, so he had to go. So they traded him.
Yeah.
Cole Bud, he's from Philly too.
Yeah.
Dion.
Yeah.
They traded him in Philly in the middle of the national anthem. True story.
That's
I
crazy.
promise you. I mean, we're looking around and we
He
knew
didn't even play?
Huh?
He didn't play that game.
I mean, hell no. He got
Hell
traded.
no, he got
Yeah,
traded
right.
in the middle of the national anthem. They went and yanked him out the lineup. They cut the lights. They start singing, "Oh, say can you see?" And we see security walk out of there and grab like, "Hey, you, get out of here." You know, like what? Yeah, they trade like go. I promise you, I'm not making it up.
That's crazy.
Dion Waiters got traded in the middle of the national anthem in his hometown. His whole family sitting there in the front row. Meek Mill, everybody.
Damn.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Y'all thought I was finished.
That is crazy.
How
Yeah.
special of a talent was Kyrie Irving with that? You knew it was, bro.
Listen,
I done played with him twice. It ain't, I don't know somebody as talented as that man.
I saw it. I'm trying to think. Because you used to play. Were you there when he was coming back to play pickup at Chapel Hill?
No, I wasn't there yet.
Okay.
I heard it was crazy.
Because that was like, I want to say.
They stopped it before I got there.
That's when I knew he was special.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I seen him play pickup, I'm like, he's moving all around the court. And I'm like, yo, called my boy. I'm like, yo. I said, with The Rock, I said, he moved like Steve Nash, but he way faster.
Yes. He's way
And they were like,
faster.
nah, you crazy. I was like, nah, I'm serious. He moved like Steve Nash with that ball, but he way faster.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, we cooking like, you know, Raymond Felton there, you know, Kendall Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
I remember talking to the Carolina coaching staff. They're like, man, who do you think's better, Kyrie or Kendall? I'm like, I love Kendall, but
Yes.
they're like, is he that much better than him? I'm like, yes, yes he is. Yes, he is.
He's nice.
And I'm like, it was just so to just see how special he was with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And he can do everything with the ball. He does everything just as well with his left as he does with his right hand.
Yeah.
There's really no scouting report on him.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he just has that rock on a string. Like every day he's making special plays in practice.
Yeah.
And he just can well, he's another guy, the confidence is crazy. Confident. That's one of the things. To be a great player, you gotta
have
believe
confidence,
in
gotta have
yourself to the umpteenth power. When you like are off and 20,000 people are yelling against you, you just gotta believe like, yeah, it's gonna turn around for me.
Yep.
You gotta be a confident guy.
You got to. And it's scary because he literally thinks like, he's like, watch this move I do. Like, those are the different type of cats. Like the example you have with Gil, they think differently.
Yeah.
Bro. I remember we're playing against the Spurs. I think Kyrie's out that game. And Bron tried to go behind the back. Ginobili picks him for the game. And he said it loud enough so people on the bench could hear. He was just talking to me, but he truly meant it. He said, man, Bron's got to get me in the offseason work on his handle. I was like, what? But he meant, but he didn't mean no harm, but that's how he viewed it. Like, yo, like bro need to come work with me real quick.
Yeah.
We looking around like, are you sure? But all right, but that's the confidence.
That's
though.
yeah.
And that's why he can still play because somebody else might think, oh, you crazy for saying that. He believes like, yo, I'm in there with Bron. I'm in there with KD.
Sure.
Like I'm that level, and I'm glad that Kyrie thinks that way.
One of the most slept on duos.
Bron and Kyrie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the most slept on duos.
Probably because they only got one chip.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason.
And injuries played a huge part.
Yeah, I'm about
in
to
that.
say, yeah.
Because it wasn't 14 year that
It was my last year. I think we would have had a chip if Kyrie doesn't get hurt.
when he fucked his knee up.
He hurt his knee.
Yes.
I wish we would have lost in regulation because overtime he messed his knee up.
Oh.
Yeah, overtime game 1. Remember, we're already down Kevin Love. Kevin Love already hurt his shoulder.
Down.
K-Love's down, and then we hurt Kyrie.
Mhm.
I mean, then we got Kyrie gets hurt. He gets the broken kneecap.
Yep.
And
It was a freak injury.
that whole playoff run, because Kyrie was a little bit hurt before that too.
Mhm.
But just to see how Bron would control the tempo of the game.
Yeah.
Like in that finals, we had no business winning 2 games.
Yeah. I'm about to say,
Well,
the
we
fact
lost
that y'all
game
still
1
went
with
to the
Kyrie. We
finals.
lost game 1 with Kyrie.
Yeah.
Bro, and this is no disrespect to none of those guys, but when you look at the starting lineup that won 2 games off the Golden State Warriors, it was like Matthew Dellavedova, who wasn't used to playing those amount of minutes at that time. After games, no lie, he was getting IVs
Yeah.
because he was almost dead.
Because
They were taking him to the hospital to get IV. Because he had to give it all to guard Steph.
Yeah.
He wasn't used to playing all of a sudden it's the NBA Finals. This man got to play 35 minutes a night. You know the difference if you just start playing 5 more minutes.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you go from 15 to 20, you feel that 20. You be like, whew, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And this was 35 guarding Steph.
For sure.
And he was guarding him so hard. Shout out to Delly.
Yeah.
And so it was Dellavedova, Tristan, I want to say Amon Shumpert, Mozgov, and Bron.
Yeah.
Bron,
And that's no disrespect to nobody, but that's not what you think of when you think of an NBA Finals championship roster. And we got 2 games, Bron controlling the tempo. He's doing everything. It was to the point where in that series, they were talking about what happens if they lose and it goes 7, does Bron still get MVP? That's how dominant he was.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
Dominant.
It honestly made no sense because he did it twice because he did it with the 18 team too.
Right.
Where he just controlled every single thing and put them in position to win. And I'm like, how is he doing that?
I don't think we talk about it enough, but he went to the finals 10 straight years.
Yo, bro.
That is fucking crazy.
Like I said, that last year I wasn't playing much. I was about cooked. I was about cooked. I was about cooked. But I will say, I was glad I got a chance to end my career playing with somebody as great as Bron because I started out with MJ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You end with Bron and you get to see what they're really about, what makes them tick, the work ethic. He's getting there early, just like MJ, working out. It's the same mindset, mentality to be great. It's just done quite differently. And then for me, the thing that really, my favorite Bron moment was the shot that he hit in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because all my career, all I heard was the talking heads, the Skip Baylesses of the world.
Yeah. He can't hit a game winner.
Well, no, that he was scared of the moment.
Yeah.
I kept hearing, he makes the pass because he's scared.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in Chicago. We're down 2. I can honestly say I've seen many game winners, but I've never seen this. David Blatt draws the play up for the game winner. He draws it up for J.R. Smith. Bron grabs the clipboard, says, absolutely not.
Shout out to JR.
No smoke, no disrespect to JR. But Bron was like, are you serious? No. Grabs the clipboard, erases the coach's play, draws his own play. He said, hey, Deli, take it out. I'm going to get the ball right here. I'm going to fake like I'm going this way. I'm going to pop to the corner. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to hit the 3. And he puts the other guys in position. You get here, you get here. Listen, I'm going to fake it. Like he basically fakes like he's going to go towards the basket just to get Jimmy off a little bit. Tosses him to the side, pops to the corner, 3 ball. Okay. Like I've seen game winners.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been around anybody that drew up their own game winner.
That's elite.
Yeah, that's elite. That's different.
I've never seen. And so for me, I'm like, all this he's scared of the moment stuff, Because there's another situation where if you watch that whole Chicago game coming down the stretch, he had some turnovers, missed free throws. He was the reason why we were losing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had the game, but he just wasn't playing well.
Yeah.
And those guys are different. So I'm glad I got to see that. That's what they talking about. Yeah, I don't believe all that.
Yeah. Did y'all play Detroit first series? I mean,
first series, I want to say, who we played?
Or was it Atlanta?
I think Atlanta was Atlanta was.
That might have been the.
Yeah, I want to say the first series was Boston. I think the first series. I know it was Boston, Chicago, Atlanta. It was Boston, Chicago, Atlanta.
Got you.
Because K-Love got hurt in the first round.
And it was young Tatum, young Brown, and all those guys. Got you. Okay. No, AJ, ask about. Go ahead.
I don't even think Tatum was on that Boston team.
I think Tatum was there.
That ain't when he dunked on Bron?
I wasn't. That wasn't when he dunked on already. I was gone. That was the.
Oh yeah.
Who was on that?
This wasn't that. This was like Kelly Olynyk.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy.
He went to finals so many damn times, so many playoff series.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I wanted to ask you, since we talk about the end of your career, talk about how being a pro is important, right? And when I say important, I mean you're an analyst now, and I think a lot of guys, when they retire, they try to get in your position or things of that nature, but it's all about being a pro at the early stages and all that. So talk about that.
When you get to the NBA, being a pro will open the doors for you when you retire. No matter what you want to do.
No facts.
If you're a pro, if you show up on time, if you're a good guy, if you take care of business, if you do the right things, making it to the league, you'll make so many relationships where if you want to be a coach, there'll be somebody that'll bring you on as an assistant coach. There'll be somebody, whether it may be pro, college. If you're a pro, if you do things the right way, handle yourself the right way, there'll be somebody that wants to hire you to be a scout, front office position.
Yep.
Even if you want to go into different business ventures, I can call Mark Cuban today, and Cuba, you could too.
Yeah.
Cube would take our call. If I say, "Hey, Cube, I got some financial stuff I really want to run by you real quick," I was a good guy with Cube. So if you're a pro, you have the keys that unlock a lot of doors when you are out of the business.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If you want to go into being an analyst and different things of that nature, do people like you? Have you prepped for this moment? Do you understand how to convey your points? But a lot of that just comes down to being a pro, doing certain things. And if you do the right things, man, listen, this NBA will open doors for you forever.
And I be trying to get people to understand, like, yes, you play basketball, but that's a job.
Yeah.
Like how I have a job, like I have to go to work every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Like your job is to go to practice every single day and hold yourself accountable, be of value and things of that nature. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that. So like somebody in your position, I think it's good for them to hear from you to understand like basketball is a job. And how do you carry that? And
like I said, I've seen it and Theo have seen it. There's been a lot of guys that were incredibly talented that washed out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't pros. They didn't do things. They didn't show up on time.
Yep.
They might have went and kicked it a little bit too hard the night before.
Mm-hmm.
They might have had bad attitudes. And so now you got guys, they're out the NBA and those doors are closed for them because they didn't do things the right way.
Right.
Like we were talking before this. Theo's going to be able to do whatever he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's media, coaching, front office, I don't know what it is. He was a pro. He's done things the right way. And I can honestly say this, from Carolina to Dallas to Brooklyn, I've talked to plenty of people that know you. They always talk about high quality, character, changes. When I was talking to my guy in Dallas, they said, man, he changes the temperature of the room just because you're positive.
Mm-hmm.
He said, man, he said, you know how it is, man. You around these guys, sometimes guys getting, you've been around these guys, you're tired of guys, or they don't feel like being there. They say, yo, Theo always brings positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
He said, man, we'll keep him around as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that means something. Because, guys will think, Theo got lucky. There's probably somebody out there, man, I can shoot better jumpers than him. I'm nicer than him. But while you're a pro, can you change the temperature of the room? On a slow Tuesday when don't nobody feel like being at practice today, can you be the guy that livens up the room?
Yep.
And like I said, no matter who I talk to, and I've never told him this before. I talked to Sean May at Carolina. They talk about the spark plug, what he was to the team. So we couldn't have won without him. Dude did it on 1 foot.
Yeah.
Broken foot.
Yeah.
Like, I talked to people in Brooklyn, like, man, we love having him. Dallas, man, we love having Theo, man.
Mhm.
He's so positive.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing that I try to make sure the young guys, when I do talk to them, is like, bro, at the end of the day, the ball's gonna stop bouncing. And I know it's easy for us to say, like when we were young, we hear it. It goes in one ear out the other. I don't even try to say that as much. I just say, just be a good person, bro.
Yeah.
Because people gonna remember. They gonna remember. Be like, oh, you want something from me now? You was an asshole.
Yeah. Back then.
When everybody was, when you was the guy. You know what I'm saying? And now we remember now you want something from me. Nah, I'm good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the biggest thing because like I said, you went to the broadcaster field, took off. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one thing that we need people to understand. It's like, it starts now.
Right.
It starts being a good person, being a good pro, and understanding they got to be able to rely on you just like they did, like they could in the NBA field. They need to do the same thing in the real world also. So I think you're a true testament to that.
Appreciate that.
Was it hard for you to adjust from leaving basketball to getting into the position that you're in now?
It wasn't really hard because I had started prepping. I was doing like WNBA games in the off season. I had done a radio show. I had done like a blog. Kind of similar to how like Theo started prepping before he was done. Like you don't start working after you're done. You start working on your next career while you're still in the league. Some of those times in the summertime, yeah, man, spend a little bit of time on what you want to do next. Figure out a plan and then just start working towards it.
Yep. That's big time.
That's big time, right?
That's
there.
a great way to end this thing.
Yes, sir.
B. Haywood, it's been an unbelievable pod. We appreciate you. I can't thank you enough for getting on with us.
No problem, Greensboro. You know I got you.
For sure. Hey, that's another episode of Rain Race. We got an NBA champion.
Facts.
We got a Tar Heel great. Tar Heel most blocks ever. I don't know who's gonna beat that shit.
Hey, did you wear the headband in? Did you wear the headband in?
Nah, man, you know you ain't allowed to wear no headbands in Carolina, man. That wasn't until I got to the league.
You're not. You really not at all. But that's crazy. But we appreciate it, my man. That's another episode of Rain Race with my boy AJ Richardson. We out. Peace. Man, we appreciate you, brother.
No problem, man. Oh, man. Ooh.